Australian. A footy final at the MCG. Let's go down to Richard Osborne. Aussie.
Well, Dennis, it never fails, does it? That last few bars of Vance Australia Fair, the crowd are up. You know it's September, you know it's finals time. As we've all said, a perfect day for football. I wish I was still playing myself. Anyone could get a kick out here today, but both teams very evenly matched up. There's no win to speak of. The last couple of weeks we've had a tricky win, but not today. It's going to be a great game. I think the West Coast just, boys.
Thanks, Oz. Guy McKinnis won the toss. Eagles to run right to left. The breeze hardly a factor. Jones in the team. Fuster goes out. So they've gone for a little pace, the West Coast Eagles. And Carlton, 2 bad losses in recent times. Can they bounce back this afternoon? Their record has been terrific against the Eagles, particularly in Perth. They've travelled very well, so maybe not a bad thing, Mick. This game's at the MCG. Yeah,
from West Coast's point of view, I suppose they could think that way, but in the end, this is a final, and both these clubs certainly pride themselves on competing at their highest levels out here at the MCG. Sunny day, no better scenario. No doubt the 18 players that will take the field and represent their club, their team with honour and dignity today, because this is a do-or-die situation. Essendon waiting, of course. Fair to say, KB, this is the soft half of the draw.
Yes, but still, that's the way finals football is at the moment. And the West Coast Eagles probably the worst performed side coming to the final. Surprised everyone against the Western Bulldogs. Carlton were absolutely disgraceful against Brisbane. That man on screen now is playing his 200th game, and I dare say he's the greatest goal-kicking wingman the game has ever seen. Peter Matera, it's a magnificent milestone, and we just had a look at Hogg sitting on the interchange bench there for Carlton. Maybe his last game for the Blues if they bow out today.
Okay, we're talking before about the record of milestone matches for the Eagles. Sometimes they can be a distraction for the entire team.
They can be. Look, it would be an indictment on a side if you can actually improve your performance because someone's playing a milestone.
Absolutely. Silvani in defence on Scott Cummings. Cummings put it 8 of 12 back in round 10. The first semi-final from the G, the first bounce. Rucks go at it. Allen up very high. Gardner tapped it down. Cousins missed it. Banfield didn't. Comes away from the centre square. Probing kick. Rice goes back. Almost a clever mark. In fact, it's paid. Umpires this afternoon, McKenzie, Kennedy and McLaren. Sound like a law firm as the ball goes towards the outer side. Whitnell comes over the top. Got a fist on it. Back towards the boundary line. And Murphy takes it across.
Some interesting matchups already, Dennis, as we have a look at the West Coast forward line. Silvani has picked up Cummings. Matera, who kicked 4 goals in round 10, he's been picked up by Dean Rice. McKay's picking up Peter Matera in his 200th game. And also across half-back, Koutafidis is standing Mitchell White.
Braun snaps it down towards full forward. Philip Matera flew over the top. Manton gets back, lays it off. This is McKay. Plenty of time. Member side with a kick. Bradley, he's at right half-back. Short one is on. He comes to Lappin.
Lappin on the half-back flank. Bradley was magnificent when they played in Subiaco in round 10. Played across the half-back line. Lappin to centre wing. Here's Allen out in front. The whistle is gone. It's a free kick to the Blues.
Paid to Whitnell for holding, KB.
So Lance Whitnell, such an important player. Just a young man, carries a big low trajectory kick. He was looking for Hamill, just couldn't bend down far enough. They'll pile on top and ball it up on the half-forward line for the Blues. Met only once in a final, these two sides. The Blues lost to the Eagles in the qualifying final of 96 by 55 points, and that game was played at Subiaco. Matthew Allen against Gardner. Kemp, the most experienced player out there for the Eagles in finals. Back to Justin Murphy. Rockets the ball to Fraser Brown. Important players for the Blues. A centering kick. Reed stands his ground. Try to get a fist to the ball at ground level. Touch of the fumbles taken by Sexton. 35 metres out. He's hammered it home.
Yeah, terrific attack on the footy there by Michael Sexton. There was numbers there that certainly suited the West Coast Eagles defence. They just couldn't clear the area by a defining punch. Good centering kick there by Fraser Brown. But that's ground level pick up. Sexton charged through, head over the footy, and he brought that ball back with a terrific shot on goal. Great start for Carlton. Just the start they wanted after last week's dismal start against the Brisbane Lions.
Cousins, Kemp, Braun and Gardner inside the centre square for the West Coast Eagles. Allen got it down to Ratton to Brown. Sweeping hand pass to accommodate Murphy. Murphy forward at the wing. Nobody's back. It bounces wide of the mark though, and through for a behind. Sweeping play out of the centre by Carlton. Aussie, the Carlton bench.
Nelson, White, Fletcher and Hogg. Interesting to see that they did actually start him on the wing, and a great start to the Blues.
McIntosh off his step. Kemp, both those players in some doubt coming in. Kemp through the wing. White's the target. Over the top, Koutafidis. Williams in front. Releases Reid. Storming through the centre square. Philip Reid. Kicks down towards full forward. Poor kick. Mant and a half chance. Controls it pretty well. Gehrig took him down. In goes Bradley. Taken front on Metropolis. Philip Matera snaps. It's a goal. Wonderful kick.
Yeah, that is a magnificent shot on goal by Philip Matera. He's the player that the Carlton defence will have to watch very closely. Very quick, magnificent player at ground level. That's a good tackle by Gehrig, who kept the footy in the area. Didn't have much time to think about it, just snapped truly across his left side, and that is a sensational shot on goal by Philip Matera. Rice has got that job. He will certainly have to tighten up, because he can be a dangerous goal kicker.
What a season he's had, Philip Matera. Along with Cummings, they're the two big guns. Last time these two sides met, they kicked 12 goals, 8 to Cummings and 4 to Matera. Camporelli from the edge of the centre square to the half-forward line. Whitnell, stretch, couldn't hang on to it. Eagles happy to take the ball over the line. The great man, Jakovic. Aussie, who's on the bench for the Eagles?
Donnelly, Jones, Crabb and Rintoul, who's been in pretty good form the last couple of weeks for the Eagles. 51
goals for the season now to Philip Matera. Jakovic, test of strength with Whitnell. Kemp might have been caught high. Ball up, 45 metres out from goal.
Just some midfield matchups. It's interesting to see that Camporelli's actually going to Cousins. No doubt they'll try to use his offensive ability to be a goal kicker. Kemp and Brown are pitted against each other in the centre field. Ratton and Braun are engaged in a one-on-one duel. Sexton is playing centre wing. He's been picked up by Philip Reid.
Pinched by Jakovic. Gets the ball across to Cousins, the young gun. Pumps the ball back towards the centre wing. It was a brave attempt by Massey. Loose ball, Lappin. Quick hand, shovels it out to Ratton. To Camporelli, back to Massey, runs to 50, long bomb at goal, could bounce through for a behind.
KB, just as Carlton were pushing the ball forward, Morrison's now gone to centre wing. He originally picked up Hickmott across half-back. Now Reid's gone to half-back, picking on Hickmott. There's the attempted mark. Good courage there by Massey. Good recovery also, because he was the player that had the shot on goal.
Some good signs here for Carlton in terms of Ratton and Murphy and Bradley and Camporelli getting the hands on the ball, and Brown. They average nearly 120 possessions between them for the season. And early in the game, Mick, if they start getting their hands on the ball, some big signs coming up for Carlton.
You only have to go back to that round 10 clash. It was a centre square work of those players you just mentioned, KB, that got him back in that contest.
Reid to Cousins. Cousins through the centre square, kicks it down towards half forward. Rice again, uncontested. Little chip pass. Sexton up towards centre half back. Thought about Ratton. Still thinking about it. Plays on now. Kicks it down towards half forward. McKenna favoured by the kick, and that's a clever mark.
And that was poor play there by Beaumont. He ran into the space where Ratton was by himself. He brought his opponent in Williams to that contest, put doubt in Sexton's mind.
Jakovic bouncing again as he kicks inside the 50. He'll direct it. So off on the way after a run. Sexton the mark. Silvani takes the hand pass. Gets the kick away, squeezing it out towards half-back, and Beaumont feeds it back inside. This is Sexton, getting plenty of it early, has kicked a goal. Lappin on the wing. Matthew Lappin. Margin 2 points. Carlton lead. Lappin towards half-forward. That's a big kick. McIntosh did well. Last time, Hamill caused him problems. Better suited, I think, to Whitnell. Metropolis comes away, kicks it back towards midfield. Up goes White, almost a clever mark. Bouncing ball is taken by Kemp. The hand pass at the feet of Gehrig. He's 65 metres out. He's a thumping kick. Makes it 55 and narrowly misses.
What you will see...
Yeah, there's a free kick paid on disposal there to Gehrig. being pushed as he kicked the footy, so the ball will come back and Fraser Gehrig will have another shot at it.
Yeah, and that's just undisciplined play, knowing that Gehrig was running to the 50-metre arc. As we look on replay, there's no need for that. It's a long time after the clearance kick, and that's probably a problem with Justin Murphy. Sometimes he just tries to be over-aggressive. You've just got to be in control of your emotions, especially in a final, to give a player, an opponent, another shot on goal when he cleared the footy by foot 1 or 2 seconds earlier. That's just undisciplined play. Certainly David Parkin wouldn't be too happy with that motion.
Should have a feel for this one now. Needs to go a little further to the right and see if it'll bend back. It's doing that. He's got a goal. Well done, Fraser.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting free kick. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Carlton runner go out to Justin Murphy and have a chat to him, because that is just undisciplined play.
Well, it could have been actually worse, Mick, because it was actually after disposal. So had the ball bounced in the goal square, it would have been a gimme from within the goal square. So certainly undisciplined by Justin Murphy, and should be addressed by the coach.
And you called it, Dennis.
John,
to left.
Just a question there. I actually noticed John Russell. I actually noticed the field umpire call for that free kick to go downfield. Why wouldn't he have paid it downfield when he actually gestured it?
Yeah, I suspect it was probably because he thought it first touched players' hands after it had crossed the goal line, Aussie. Had it touched players' hands within the field of play, then it could have gone downfield to where that happened.
Massey got clean bowled. Ratton there to clean up. Always goes short. It was a poor kick. Didn't really hit a target. Hamill. It's got McIntosh to beat. Quick hands. 35 metres out the Blues. Unload to the goal square. Allen didn't get the bounce he wanted. The General's there. Chance now for Allen. Did he get his boot to the ball? He's missed. Through for behind. Well, he's coming off a game against Brisbane he'd like to forget. One of the favourites for the Brownlow medal here, Matthew Allen. And good defensive play by Wirrapunda. Metropolis has played every game this year for the Eagles. Goes short. Finds McKenna. Veteran now of 253 games. Short. Gardner's the target. He's got him on the half-back flank. McKenna. The option across half-back, then pumps the ball along towards centre forward. Here comes Koutafidis. Couldn't take it. McKay with some strong arm tactics gets it across to Sexton. They share the ball around. Bang! Crash. Reed's come in very hard on Hickmott. And he's given away the free.
Yeah, just overzealous in that situation, John. Could have controlled his tackle a little bit better.
Hickmott, the third most experienced finals player for Carlton. Of course, he played finals with the Cats as well. It's a poor kick. Only went 35 metres. Playing in front is Massey. Some big raps on Massey down at Carlton. This young man still inside the centre square. He's got McKay wide. The All-Australian, 55 metres out, unloads. Gives it all. He's got it. It's going to the line.
Post.
It's hit the post.
Intriguing game at this early stage, KB. You can see the style of play that Carlton are trying to implement. They're giving the ball short, honouring the players who are leading directly at the ball carrier. Whereas on the other hand, West Coast Eagles out of defence are trying to change direction. More often than not, they'll try to kick a short target, especially when they've got a set play situation like Wirrapunda has in that part of the ground.
Wirrapunda, the long kick. Gardner from behind. Down in front, Williams collides with Cousins. Between the two of them, Beaumont slips away and punishes the Eagles.
Yeah, just a talking situation. West Coast had two players to attack that loose footy. If we look at this clearing kick in by Wirrapunda. Good contest there by Carlton players. Got the ball forward. It was Williams and Cousins. Didn't talk. That allowed that loose footy to spill free into the path of Beaumont. Appears to like the MCG. Back against Collingwood early in the year. Kicked 8 goals in the first half. He can be a dangerous player if he's not watched closely.
Yes, he can be very dangerous. He kicked those 8 goals in the first half as well. Taken away by Banfield with strength outside the centre square. Pumps the ball into the forward pocket. Silvani leads to the race for the ball. He gets support from Rice. Cummings forces him over the line for a toss back in.
Drew Banfield's got the job on Craig Bradley, who's basically playing as a half-back flanker once again. He was terrific in that round 10 clash over at Subiaco. Got a lot of the footy. He was assigned to Dean Kemp that day. Dean Kemp's in the midfield playing on Fraser Brown today.
Allen front spot against Fraser Gehrig, who's looking for Koutafidis. Bradley cleans up. It's a wild kick, and he's put it out on the full.
Yeah, Braddles does that a lot, doesn't he, KB? When he's...
That was touched off the boot.
It was touched off the boot. Oh, that's the reason why it probably went like that. But when he's in space, I think the drop punt is a greater percentage rather than just trying to do the torpedo. As West Coast make a change, Rintoul's onto the ground.
McKay had it and lost it. Mitchell White feeds it off to Cousins, the young gun, inside 50. Fraser Geary's got 3 to beat. They'll need a crummer. Williams, Bradley pounced on it. Quick hands across. The man's been bowled over by Cummings. Bradley, safety first, puts it through for behind.
Chad Morrison was in fact the player that Chad Rintoul replaced.
Thanks, Aussie. There's a hot footy down there in the West Coast Eagles forward line. Manton had a chance to grab the ball cleanly. Good pressure from the forwards, Cummings, to dispossess that ball. But Craig Bradley, great experience. Knew he had no options on further afield, so he just conceded the point. Best form of defence.
Silvani finds Bradley. His 5th possession to Manton. He kicks it up towards the wing. Lappin cleared him. Chance behind for Williams in space. Pumps it back in. They'll contest about 30 metres out. Cummings did well. Got a hand to it. Bradley again. Bouncing out of defence. Lappin to Bradley. Bradley up towards half, back to Lappin. Good footy by the Blues. Kicks it towards the wing. Hickmott on the lead. Hickmott looks downfield. Not a good kick though. It wanders in towards the centre. Ratton missed it. Coming through is Matera. Massey took him down. Battling after it is Brown. Tackled by Metropolis. Down goes Brown. Interesting manoeuvre. Fair degree of difficulty.
Yeah. Peter Matera getting involved in the contest. He's basically started across half forward. Looks like he's pushed up to centre wing now to get involved in this first quarter. He's pretty willing in tight there. Fraser Brown kept his head over the footy, as we always know he does. But that was a good contest by all players concerned.
High bounce in that hard area. Massey straight up in the air. They come from all directions. Fell at their feet. Matera missed it. Hamill going nowhere. McIntosh down towards half forward. It bounces inside the 50. Now a chance for Cousins. Brilliant pickup. The snap is bending, but not enough. Deserved a goal at full tilt. Didn't break stride. Marvellous stuff.
Yeah, that is enormous ability to continue to run top speed and bend over and pick the footy up like Cousins did. It's just a magnificent sign of a player.
Peter Matera yet to have a touch in his 20th game. Silvani drills it. Finds Matthew Allen. Looks a lot sharper today. Had a virus last week. He's had a magnificent season, the All-Australian ruckman. Hickmott has been very good out in front. A couple of strong grabs. He's on centre wing. He's missed a lot of football in recent times. Pumps the ball back towards the half-forward line. McIntosh from behind. Could have gone the punch. Went the mark. And the whistle is gone. It's coming back.
Yeah, free kick paid for high contact in the marking contest, Kevin.
Have to punch.
Yeah, certainly have to punch.
Had to punch then. I was surprised. I was just waiting for McIntosh to put that big fist out, but he elected to go for the mark. Hamill has been a dangerous player. He's booted 28 goals for the season. Puts it into the hot spot. Whitnell! So strong overhead. Puts his big frame in front. And this young gun, who's booted 47 goals for the Blues this year, carries the hope of the Blues supporters today. Here's Jakovic's opponent, just pushed him off, Mick. Terrific play by this young man.
Yeah, in actual fact, Koutafidis was the decoy then. He ran down the other side. Hamill was looking for him as well. Great setup by the Blues.
Whitnell kicks a goal.
Well, this is just a terrific start from Carlton's point of view. They're aware of the situation. They're a club that prides themselves on the way they compete. Last week they were humiliated. Let's face it, Lance Whitnell, what a terrific young talent he is. A lot of the responsibility is placed upon his shoulders in terms of how the team goes. Great contested mark in front of the pack. He kicked truly for goal.
Lance Whitnell, 48 goals for the season, 46 last season. Only 2 players, Matthew Richardson and Chris Grant, have taken more marks this season, and only by a couple. Well done by Gardner, down to Kemp. High floating kick to half forward. Gehrig could have got a free kick there. Got the hand pass away to White, in trouble. Matten dragged him down. Banfield went down. Now Banfield is going to get a free kick. Well,
paid for a push in the back, but did look a little bit soft, Dennis. but certainly paid for a push in the back given the umpire's signal.
Banfield inside the centre square then unloads. They'll contest about 20 metres out. Fell behind the pack. Cummings is in there. Manton hand passes back towards goal. Koutafidis. Camporelli under pressure. Scrambles at about 15 metres. And across the line in front of Williams. All I want for Christmas.
Chance for the Eagles. They trail by 8 points. Gardner gets a shove out from Allen. It's been pinched by Braun. Kicks a high ball. Cummings is the target. Had the sun in his eyes. Good defensive play by Sexton. Puts it over the line for a minor score.
They're controlling a lot of the footy. Carlton already it's 60 possessions to 35. And this is where they've got to get some sort of scoreboard pressure on the opposition by utilising the possession rate. They just muck around with the ball too much in midfield. They should be putting pressure on the opposition by getting the ball forward and direct.
Bradley to Manton to Mackay to Lappin. It's great play by the Blues. Long penetrating kick again. He was looking for Whitnell behind. It was Jakovic, pounced on by Beaumont. Tries to drill it. Looking for Hickmott. He kicked it to space. Overruns the ball. Quick snap by Hickmott. Great goal.
He's been a very valuable player across half forward in this first quarter. Already he's had 4 kicks. He's taken 2 marks. Of course, kicking that goal. He's a very hard player, very tough, good at the contest, very skillful also, and that is a great snap-on goal. Also, Sexton's playing a fairly important role on centre wing. When West Coast are winning the ball, he's charging back to make an extra defender, helping out Silvani and Manton and Koutafidis. They're tall players against West Coast Eagles key forwards.
Margin is 13 points, and just for the moment the Eagles can't get the footy. Wide towards the wing. Peter Matera left it behind. Chance for young Williams. Got the hand pass away. Pretty hot. Braun couldn't control it. Standing his ground. Massey brilliantly done. Murphy sold into trouble. Comes back to Massey. Massey kicks down towards the pocket. Missed down there by Beaumont. Whitnell a half chance. Kept it in. Did well. Great balance. Missed in front of goal by Hickmott. He goes back after it. Plenty of company. In goes McIntosh. McIntosh is wrestled to the ground. Hickmott battles after the ball. Reed dives on top of it. Then we'll have a ball up.
Dennis, sorry, Mick, one thing I've noticed at ground level already, young Hickmott and also up in that forward line. It's amazing how much work Whitnell's put in. He's obviously worked very hard in his fitness in recent months, and he's looking $1 million.
Here's the bounce. Allen tries to hook it down. Kemp, did he have the footy? It's out of bounds. Boundary throw in.
Gee, what a wasted opportunity there by Hickmott. That was a soda. He dropped it.
Yep.
Just got underneath the float of the footy, but Massey's been terrific in this opening quarter. Good for his experience in future years.
Allen hooks it down behind. McKenna, though, away to Peter Matera. Kicks it up towards a vacant wing area. So it's a foot race. Whitnell leads in the race. Jakovic is closing. Whitnell soccers off the ground. And it trickles tantalisingly across the line. They're clapping for everything at the moment.
That was smart play by Whitnell because Jakovic was bearing down on him. Terrific work by Jakovic as we have a look at the kicks. Carlton 40 to West Coast 25. But that was a good contest by 2 key players in this game.
7 minutes left in this opening term. Mackay across half back to the half forward line. Hamill got his hands on the ball, finally pushed over the line.
KB already, he looks dangerous, Hamill, even though he hasn't got a lot of the footy at this stage. He's really presenting himself, running up the ground, getting McIntosh out of that comfort zone, the full back line. He certainly looks a dangerous player at this early stage of the contest.
Well, the Blues certainly look sharp. Whitnell playing in front. Still on centre wing. Lappin tickles the ball along. Reaches 50. Hamill goes in hard over the top of Braun. Massey there as well. The ball up. 4-4-28 the Blues. 2-3-15 the Eagles. Last time these two sides met was at Subiaco in round 10, and the Blues won by 17 points. That day Hamill booted 5 and Cummings got 8 for the Eagles. A push out by Braun. Murphy on hands and knees. Williams shoveled the ball out. Still on the half back flank for the Eagles, taken by Peter Matera.
Kemp hit high, KB, so the ball come back. And
why isn't that advantage, John? Because it was in the motion of play. Kemp got rid of the footy. they set up and they were out, the Eagles.
Well,
to me, that should be the advantage.
McIntosh was fronting a wall of Carlton opponents, so they couldn't be confident that he was going to get clear. I mean, in hindsight, it's easy to say, but at the time, it looked as though McIntosh might have been under a bit of pressure.
Mitchell White, so versatile across the half-forward line to Reid. In front, Silvani comes away from Cummings. Drills the ball to Ratton. He's on the edge of the centre square. Here come the Blues, the centre half forward. High flies, Beaumont.
Faking goal score.
50, Beaumont unloads. Big bomb, kicks a goal. Two goals to Beaumont.
And every player back as centre has ran directly at Stephen Silvani. He is a proud man. Last time these two clubs met, Cummings had the better of him, no doubt about that. He kicked 8 goals. Cummings led him to the footy time and time again that day. Obviously, he's learnt from that experience, as all good players do. He met the footy, he set it up. Good short kick to Ratton, who found Beaumont, who goaled.
Simon Beaumont, 2 goals. And Carlton skip away. Handy lead now, 5-4-2-3. Allen up very early. Gardner knocked it down. Kemp trying hard. Floats one towards half forward. McKay did well. So strong. McKay comes away. Kicks it out towards the wing. Beaumont's in front. With him McKenna. Hickmont read it nicely. Too slick for Ratton. Knocked away there by Braun. Yeah. Smothered off the boot. Hickmont. But the tackle lingered.
Yeah, come back to Ratton, Dennis, and because the advantage couldn't be paid because the kick was smothered.
Yes, the tackle lingered too long there, so the kick down towards half forward. And the mark is taken by Hickmont again, bobbing up and causing the Eagles some pain. Hickmont is centering kick. Hamill comes out hard and takes a very good grab. And caught one.
Yeah, well, that's one thing he is. A very hard nut. Never takes his eyes off the footy while the ball's in the air. Rintoul was a player who come off centre wing, provided that contest. He had to. Look at that, eyes only for the ball, knowing that an opposition player was coming across your line. But that is a terrific contested mark. But already these are ominous signs for West Coast, because Carlton generally are controlling the hard footy. They're getting numbers at it. Ratton, Hickmont, Massey, Brown, the real hard players for Carlton, and are winning too much of the footy. The Eagles certainly have to regroup in the middle part of the ground.
He's normally a long kick, Aaron Hamill. This one has got the length, but not the direction. Away to the left or behind, but it increases the Blues' lead. They're up by 20.
Dennis, do the Eagles look a little bit flat to you? This early stage of the first quarter, is just because the hardest approach the Carlton players are putting on the Eagles players?
I think that's the way to tackle it. I think Carlton look very good at the moment. They've really got some energy about their game.
Got a better balanced side, haven't they? With Silvani at fullback, Koutafidis at centre half back. The height of Sexton on the wing has been very important, because he does push back into defence, and he's also kicked a goal in this first quarter. So it's a better looking Carlton setup. Big punch from behind from Jakovic. He's given away the free on the shoulder. We'll go to Whitnell. Long way out, too far out to score. It's a centering kick. Hickmott's been very good overhead. Couldn't take it on the second grab. Kicked off the ground by Kemp. Cousins just didn't quite get the bounce he wanted. Oh, hit hard was Williams. Fraser Brown tough in the clinches. Wirapunda has pinched it with quick hands. Gets the ball across. Kemp receives it from Metropolis. Goes short to Braun. Some run now. Cousins. Some fancy footwork. Danced on the spot. Gives it across to Braun. Tries to drill it. Goes past Koutafidis. Fraser Gehrig pushed off the ball by Manton. Kouta happy to see the ball over the line for a boundary throw in.
I think if that's one negative in Fraser Gehrig's game, is his ability to pick up the loose ball at ground level. To me, he just goes down with a straight back. He's got to bend his knees, get his head over the footy and pick up that loose bouncing ball. He's got to work on that part of his game.
Boundary throw in then. Gardner reaching over the top, taps it down, taken by Ratton, who's at right half back. He pulls it back towards the wing. Kemp
held.
Will get the free kick. Dean Kemp getting plenty of the footy, coming up for his 10th possession.
Clearly held by the back of the jumper there by Fraser Brown, so warranted.
Kemp towards half forward, getting in behind the leading Gehrig is Mitchell White. He's taken the mark, plays on, kicks towards the pot, and Cummings. Scott Cummings, the Coleman medalist, was marked about 35 metres out.
And Dennis, every time Mitchell White wins the footy, it's as if they've got a mental telepathy.
Yep.
White with Cummings, just amazing. He leads quick. He leads to the right spot. Mitchell White, for his size, is just a magnificent penetrating kick. Keeps it flat, kicks it hard, gets to his target. Just doesn't give the defensive group any opportunity to spoil.
An unlikely pair of Cracker brothers. There's Cummings then. Sharp angle. But he's in the best pocket. Bending it around. Will it come back? Hit the post. Flush. 1-1. So the margin is 19 points.
And this scoreline's nearly a reflection of that round 10 clash, but the other way. So the opportunity for the Eagles to get back into this contest, they no doubt have to kick a couple of quick goals to stem the flow of the Carlton team.
Rice in the back pocket finds Murphy up towards half-back. He went. Gehrig got him. Play-on's the call. No, it was too high.
He's paid the free kick for a high tackle, but it looked as though Murphy contributed to that high contact because he tries to duck under it there. Now, I don't see any contact above the shoulder in that, but it was paid for high contact. And 50 metres paid following the free kick being paid. So now it's almost a double whammy against the West Coast Eagles because they probably deserve to be having a shot on goal after beating Murphy for it.
Big decision, that one. Murphy probing kick inside the 50. Jakovic committed to the pack, knocked it down in front. Camporelli falling, tried to give it to Massey, missed him. Cousins cleverly gets it away to Williams. Williams through the centre square, kicking towards half forward, and Mitchell White.
So dangerous across the half forward line. Cummings again is the target at the stretch. Here's a chance for Banfield. Touch of the fumbles, crashing in hard was McKay. Magnificent play by the All-Australian. Rice flicks it out, taken by Philip Materi, caught by Bradley. Loose ball, McKay will head towards the line. Good defensive play. Tremendous defensive play by McKay.
Yeah, they're stronger at the contest at the moment of the Carlton team. They're getting numbers at that loose ball contest. There was a fumble there by Drew Banfield, which is unlike him.
Sexton has been a handy player in this first term. Back towards the centre wing. Hickmott from behind. He's been a marking option. Great hands to Camporelli on the burst of the half-forward line. Beaumont. Well, he's booted 2. Let's not forget, he booted 8 against Collingwood in the first half earlier in the year. Hamill's the target. Second grab.
And just a perfect lead then by Aaron Hamill. He dummied, went forward. He almost lost McIntosh, went back on to McIntosh, went again, and was good 5 yards in front. Perfect way to lead for full forward.
Yeah, well picked up, Aussie. There was 3 or 4 opportunities. He could have led to a vacant goal square, but turned McIntosh inside out. He led to the space directly at the kicker. And there's no doubt that's Carlton's style of play today, trying to get the West Coast Eagles defenders one-on-one.
And he has nailed it. Well, it's his first goal today. He booted 5 goals the last time these two sides met. He looks sharp. Beaumont looks sharp. Whitnell, very good across the half-forward line. They've got some marking power. That man, Hickmott, has really been a target up forward.
And have a look at that for a handball, KB. Great recovery. Here's the jump. He's got an unbelievable vertical jump, Aaron Hamill. He just gets up early, keeps his balance in the air. Good player.
So Carlton 6-5, the West Coast 2-4. Allen favoured by the bounce. Up he goes, directs it down into the path of Brown, spins away from Cousins brilliantly. Penetrating kick. It pitches about 20 metres out. Reid leads back in the race and pushes it across the boundary line. Hamill with the exclamation mark. A throw in alongside the behind post. Subplots simmering in this game. Matera's 200th. Will it be the last game coached by Michael Malthouse? At the present time, the Eagles with the job in front of them. Whitnell opposed to Jakovic, fell behind, taken by McKenna in space. Wapunda still in trouble. McKenna backing him up. Crippen holding the ball. McIntosh falling to the ground. The hand pass directed across to Cousins. The pressure from the Blues terrific. The crowd wanting a free kick.
Well,
Wapunda very lucky.
Yeah, everybody expecting Wapunda to be penalised here. He tries to evade the tackle, and he doesn't punch or kick the ball. That is a free kick for incorrect disposal.
And this is Carlton's second best ever effort in the first quarter against the Eagles. Here's a chance, Whitnell. It's not over yet. Still 35 seconds to go. Lapping on hands and knees. Back to Ratton. He's kicked a goal.
And this is an unbelievable first quarter from the Carlton team. I think it's all because of their attack on the footy. All players out there representing the Carlton jumper are really ferocious at getting their bodies into that loose ball contest. Ratton, not a noted goal kicker, knows when to push forward. He got on the end of the handball. There's the two boys in tandem, Brown and Ratton. What a great centre bounce crew those two players are. They're complemented by the flair of Camporelli today. But they've had a sensational start to this game.
Allen goes up, opposed to Gardner. Gardner knocked it down. Ratton, though, the kick out of the centre. Jakovic got a fist on it. Metropolis, McIntosh now with McKenna, who kicks it up towards the wing. Dying seconds of the term. Leading back in the race is Murphy, pursued by Williams. Murphy comes in short. And Fraser Brown has been industrious. Hits the hand pass away to Camporelli. 70 metres out from goal. Not a good kick. Gardner did well. Stopped it like a soccer goalie. Punda has the last kick of the term, but certainly all honours with Carlton. They're enjoying this one. Shades of 96 so far for the West Coast Eagles. Sullen is Michael Malthouse as he comes down onto the MCG. If you go back to 96, the West Coast Eagles played the Bombers and were blown away after they thought they should have had a home final. And this afternoon, this good crowd at the MCG willing the Blues on, and gee, they have responded. There's David Parkin, turns 57 tomorrow. He coached his first final against North Melbourne back in 1977. It's been a long journey. He's enjoying this at the moment. 7-5 to 2-4. Start of the second term in the first semi-final, and the Eagles with some work ahead of them. Gardner has to wait. Allen flew over the top. Ratton again, wide towards Brown. Braun closing. Brown went down. Braun over the top. Whistle. No, holding the ball's the call.
So that's a strange decision, John.
That is tough. Yep.
Like he's totally the blind side of the player, and he gave a decision purely on guess.
Braun got it to Cousins. Cummings was hit in the face by that footy, and a free kick to the man in front. A push from Cummings in midair. Meantime, advantage paid around the outer side. Camporelli gets it from Hitmont, kicks inside the 50, and Whitnell, too much carry on the ball, it runs loose behind. Whitnell outnumbered, trying to control it. Morrison fell to the ground, taken high. He'll get the free kick.
Yeah, good decision there by Hayden Kennedy. Here's this push.
Yeah, Cummings, it looked as though Cummings was actually pushed by Steve Silvani, so just held his arms out to protect himself, but nevertheless penalised. It looked as though it should have been the other way.
The old domino theory. Out of defence then, the kick from Morrison up towards the wing. Allen working hard, Punda paddling it to his own advantage. Bradley feigning for a kick. Gehrig trapped on his right foot, could do nothing. Manton close to the boundary line, got it across to Sexton, kicks it back towards the wing. Massey favoured by the bounce, kicks towards half forward, needs a fist from Morrison. Loose ball behind, could have almost been a Carlton free, nothing doing. Jakovic towards midfield, awkward bounce there for Murphy. Trying to control the ball is Gardner. Williams trying to help him. Gardner took a long time. Run down from behind. Peter Matera pushed to the back. Now he'll get the free kick.
Now McKay certainly did not push. He grabbed him around the waist, but Matera knew he was there and just dived forward. If we see there's clear air between. McKay is not pushing Matera there, but he's penalised for a push in the back.
Well, he's playing his 200th game, his 20th final. Norm Smith medalist. He's been a best and fairest winner, All-Australian 5 times. You're looking at one of the great players, Peter the Great. Pumps the ball back. It's a bad kick. Straight to Allen.
And KB, Allen was sitting there for a good 20 seconds. Couldn't have been a worse option.
And Bradley, the skipper. Time for think music. Just pumps the ball wide. He's looking for Beaumont, who's been so dangerous. He's already booted 2 goals. McKenna does well to hold the ball up. The ball up between half forward and centre wing. The general, McKenna. 258 games. He's been a magnificent leader this year. Hamill to do the ruck work. He's kicked a goal. One of the big options up forward. Hickmott's been so good. They want holding the ball. They'll get a ball up.
Yeah, well, look, I know I'm a long way away. It certainly didn't look as though the ball was actually pinned to McKenna here. The ball is not pinned there, but he doesn't want to get it out. So he wants everybody to think it's pinned. Certainly wouldn't have wanted to clear it there.
So the free kick will go to the skipper.
I suppose the distinction I'm drawing, Kev, is his arms were pinned, but the ball wasn't. But 50-metre penalty paid there for not getting the ball quickly enough. There's the free kick. Ball not returned quickly enough, so a 50-metre penalty applied.
Just sort of sense, Dennis, that there's a fair bit happening out there at this stage. Wurupunda's gone to half forward, playing on Bradley. He had a terrific first quarter, having 7 possessions. Banfield at this stage is off the ground.
A lot of umpiring going on.
McKenna waited and waited. He was looking for Fraser Geary. It's a loose ball. Sexton hits it hard. Koutafidis with quick hands to Sexton, who's been a very good player. Cross centre wing. There's McKenna again. Great experience. To Williams, who bangs the ball back, pushing and shoving. Strong play by Koutafidis. Got rid of Mitchell White. It's a better setup. Silvani at full-back. Kuta at centre-half-back. Pumps the ball back wide. High flyer was Hamill. Reid, one of 2 teenagers playing today. Jackson Crabb, his teammate, the other, had it and lost it. Matera, caught by McKay, who's been magnificent. The All-Australian does it well across half-back flank. Players down. Peter Matera looks like he may have hurt a knee in his 200th game. Big pack of players. Whitnell there as well with Jakovic. Let's go back to Peter Matera.
Yeah, and this was the tackle. You just watch his right leg got caught in behind him in the tackle from McKay, and that is pain. You can see him grimace straight away. He's still in the hands of the trainers. Bent over across half-back for the Eagles.
Meantime, a whistle and the ball up after the boundary throw in. That's Peter Matera. Hyperextended that knee, but he may be able to go on. Meantime, Gardner slaps it down. The tackling at Carlton has been so ferocious. Camporelli has tackled that time, digs it away. Picked up by Cousins. Cousins forward of half-back, kicks it down towards half-forward. Sexton bumped by Gehrig, but I think he's happy with the end result as the ball goes across the boundary line. Matera is hobbling towards the interchange gates. Watch it again.
As you called, Dennis, he just hyperextended the right leg, and that's the reason why he's limping from the ground. Jones will be his replacement. But you spoke about the tackling in the first quarter. It was Carlton 11 to West Coast 8. Already in the second quarter, it's 6-0.
Mick, they've actually made a change. It's Donnelly that's coming on from Matera.
Brown and Kemp fighting meantime over near the boundary line. It's a scary feeling when you're bent back like that, nowhere to go, and the leg is caught underneath. So a bounce close to the boundary line. 47 plays 16. Carlton looking unstoppable just for the moment. Reid is stopped by Murphy close to the boundary line. It will be thrown in. 7-5 to 2-4. Powerhouse beginning by the Blues.
Looks like
stark contrast to last week. Sorry, KB.
Looks like Rintoul's gone back to the half-forward line, taking up Peter Matera's position. And, of course, coming on was Donnelly. He's going to pick up Sexton. Lappin's
kick is marked by Jakovic.
So the great man comes away from half-back. Here's Donnelly. Just onto the ground, goes short, looking for Wirapunda. 65 metres out from goal. The lead's on from Philip Matera. Here comes Philip Matera. He's got it. And there goes his brother, Peter Matera, heading towards the rooms. So that's a sad side in his 200th game. He's been one of the greats. Here's Philip Matera, who's already kicked a goal. Part of the dynamic duo. Philip Matera and Scotty Cummings. 47% of the goals kicked this year by the West Coast Eagles. This man has booted 51 for the season. He's just had the one kick.
It suggested he actually aimed for the right-hand goalpost. You'd think KB, watching Carlton kick to that end in the first quarter, one of their goals were right to left.
He's getting the hurry up from the crowd. Rintoul, that lead's been ignored. So is one from Wirapunda. So he fancies his chances. Philip Matera. It's bending back, not enough. Through for a behind. Aussie. West Coast bench.
Yes, there's been a change, as we knew. Matera's come off, Donnelly on. Jones still off with Crabb and Banfield.
So the margin 30 points in the bright sunshine here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Silvani to bring it in.
The Eagles are actually employing the man-on-man contest on Carlton's kickings.
Silvani a fumble. Still some time though. Untidy hand pass. Bradley throws it on the boot under a fair degree of pressure. Knocked away by Reid from Lappin across the boundary line. So a throw in on the 50.
Yeah, you very rarely see that. Those big size 13 boots of Steve Silvani just didn't get enough purchase on that footy. But he had the time to recover. Good experience. Found another experienced campaigner in Bradley.
He was looking straight ahead. Kemp on his knees. Chopped off by Ratton. Pokes it out towards the boundary line. Takes a Carlton bounce and goes out. Everything falling into place right now. It's been a while. Allen and Gehrig. Gehrig reaches over the top. Ratton again getting in there. Getting the ball out to Murphy. High kick up towards the wing. Donnelly went back with courage. Lappin at close quarters to Brown. These running players are a real headache for Michael Malthouse at the moment. Kicks down towards the 50. Knocked away by Djakovic. The bouncing ball taken by McIntosh. High one towards the wing. Allen went back. Ratton's got it again in the grasp. Got it away to Lappin. Back to Allen. Allen off the step down towards half forward. Almost a push in the back. Whitnell came up, gathered the ball nicely. Hickmott, one out contest. Beaumont's in front. Clever mark.
They're having a bit of trouble with the sun down at that end.
Last couple of occasions, KB. There's no doubt Whitnell had a bit of problem earlier. You could just see Beaumont. He just sort of, I think, more or less guessed. His eyes were above the line of the footy on that occasion. You watch his eyes.
Where it was.
No, exactly. He's looking higher than what the ball was. Maybe that's a little bit of luck, but playing front, you get rewarded.
Going at his third right here. Knows where the goals are. Another poster.
That's the third poster today. 17 plays, 48. 7-6 to 2-5 Metropolis to bring the ball back into play. He's played every game for the Eagles this year. Finds McIntosh. Still squeezed up in the back pocket. Back into the side. There was some doubt about his fitness leading into today's game. Chad Morrison still inside the defensive 50. Goes short, so they're sharing the ball around Williams, a young man from South Belgrade. Back to Metropolis. This is better by the Eagles. Great defensive play by Koutafidis. Attack the ball. They'll love that at Carlton. Manton pumps the ball back towards the centre wing. Whitnell's a high flyer. The big fist was Djakovic's. Pouncing on the ball again was Williams. Clean hands to Braun. They'll share the ball around. Tied up tight was Djakovic. Under pressure, just tumbles the ball back inside 50. Taken away by Manton. Bradley, the playmaker, across half-back flank. Takes him on. Rockets the ball wide to Justin Murphy. One of the big possession winners, averaging 24 possessions a game. Big bomb. Whitnell's the target. Maybe a shove out.
Yeah.
Gets it from Morrison. Covers some territory, does Lance Whitnell.
Lance Whitnell certainly made sure this one's seen. Difficult to tell how much contact there is between arms and back on Whitnell there, but he got the free kick anyway.
Conceded ground, went back to Hamill, who goes short and finds Fraser Brown in front of Kemp.
KB, West Coast have made a change. They've had to. Gardner's gone forward just for a rest because Allen's mobility is causing him a concern. Gehrig, who hasn't found a lot of the footy across half forward, he's basically playing as a mobile ruckman.
Fraser Brown's only kicked 2 goals for the season. It's going right to the line. They'll need a crummer. Reid kicks the ball off the ground. Back to Ratton. Quick snap. He's got 2.
Well, Malthouse would absolutely be livid with that effort of Philip Reid. You just can't afford to just second guess and kick the footy off the ground when the ball's 15 metres from your opponent's goal. You've just got to put your head over the footy, win possession, be clean, then feed it out by hand or kick it out of the area. That is just low percentage footy, too much risk involved, and that's the reason why Ratton's kicked his second. There'll be a change in midfield.
Brett Ratton has 2 goals. Game number 187. He played his 150th against the West Coast Eagles at Subi, round 8 last season. Gardner and Allen knocked wider still by Kemp onto the loose ball. Camporelli somehow got through, kicks it down towards half forward. Hamill controlled it to his own advantage initially. Williams got a hand pass to Cousins. How about that tackling? Down he went, and still they tackle on. Braun under pressure. Murphy's hand pass comes wide. Played forward by McKay. Knocked it across to Camporelli. Carlton finding the space. Brown gets it back to McKay. Centering kick coming through McKenna. That was timely. Got it away to Kemp. Kemp's hand pass to Donnelly. Donnelly comes back to Jakovic. Jakovic boots it through the wing down towards half forward. Stopped well by Bradley. Somehow Bradley found the ball, tried to get through, was tackled. Hand passed wide. Donnelly runs onto it. Gains about 30 metres and bounces the ball out of bounds. Carlton 54, West Coast 17.
And Brett Ratton, he's been the player who's been in outstanding form. 8 tackles to 0 in the second term. Maybe a change is in the making. Braun is just getting carved up by Ratton in midfield. Banfield, who's sitting on the interchange bench, he could be the player to come on to Ratton and play that one-on-one role. Maybe Philip Reid could be another player to come up into midfield. He's playing in a back pocket on Lappin to play on Fraser Brown, because those two players have already at this stage accumulated too much of the footy, and they are dangerous.
As we saw, Rintoul is off, Jones is on, Murphy coughed it up. Kemp to Braun, trying hard. Braun down towards the 50, and Fraser Gehrig cruising past is White. White runs to 50, then lines up on goal. Decision to be made down there by Cummings. Is it good? I think it is.
That was a much-needed goal from the West Coast Eagles. Carlton, from the first quarter, had kicked 7 unanswered goals. They certainly needed that goal from Mitchell White, but he's a terrific finisher. He balanced himself up. He could have easily kicked left foot, but he backed his ability to get the journey. Good low penetrating kick for goal.
Blues by 31 points. 54 plays, 23. Gardner maybe inspired by that goal. Kemp's been terrific. Murphy just rocketed the ball out. He was looking for Allen. Metropolis across half-back. They've been under pressure, the Eagles' defence. Tumbles the ball to the half-forward line. Manton got the bounce he wanted. Then slides past Gehrig. Goes short and finds Hickmott.
Isn't he playing with some flair? Clean Manton.
And this player, Adrian Hickmott, has missed a lot of football with knee problems, and that's a great kick. And finds Whitnell. 55 metres out. Here's the lead. Lappin couldn't take it. Allen goes to ground. His hand pass didn't hit a target. Reid comes away at centre half back. He's looking for Fraser Gehrig. Didn't go and meet the ball. Punched away that time by Manton. Sexton tried to shovel it out. Leg was Cousins. No free kick. It's tough in the clinches. And a free kick will go to the Eagles. Look at Cousins. Looks on.
Fraser Gehrig, he can be a frustrating commodity at times.
He's testing the coach's patience, I'd
there's
say.
no doubt about that. In
Andrew
situations
Donnelly.
like that, you've just got to come and meet the footy with the ferocity that you want to win possession.
8 possessions that Cousins finds Kemp, who's been very good. Pops it up. It's a great kick. Mitchell White. All of a sudden, the Eagles, just the last couple of passages of play, they've looked a little bit better. I think they were inspired by Mitchell White's last goal. They've got in a bit harder in that centre square. And if he kicks this...
And as you can see on screen, KB, Peter Matera has come out from the interchange onto the interchange bench. He's testing his right knee, so obviously there's a bit of a problem there, but they're hoping to get him back on the ground.
Big kick here for the Eagles. 2 in a row. Mitchell White, 45 metres out. The All-Australian doesn't let him down. Nails it.
Kev, there's no doubt the West Coast Eagles have worked their way back into this game, but that goal was all because of a poor handball, a backward handball across half forward for the Carlton team. Matthew Allen, he was the player that coughed the footy up. Then they just couldn't get back quick enough to get goal side of their opponents. That's the reason why Cousins was free, Kent was free, and good ball users like those two, they can find space for themselves and use it effectively.
Peter Matera back on the bench. Just get the feeling the next goal is vital. Mitchell White, 2 goals, the last 2 in this game. Played in the Eagles premiership team of '92 after just 24 senior matches. The Eagles looking better. Allen goes up, knocks it down. Crashing in was Massey. Down went Philip Matera. Kemp, who's been wonderful. Slid a timely hand in there. Ratton, well done. Got it to Murphy. Looping hand pass. Awkward one for Allen. Feeds the hand pass away to Sexton. Well done. Release Murphy in space. Murphy is forward of the wing. Long kick. McKenna will come over the top. No, he stayed out of the contest. And Whitnell has juggled the mark.
What a terrific contested mark, Dennis. No doubt McKenna looked like he was going to go over the top, and he should have. Just to play the percentages. McIntosh was out of that contest, and maybe the sun once again, KB.
I just wondered, Mick, it looked like he was going to go forward and make a contest, but elected not to.
Whitnell at his third. Goal umpire goes a long way, but I think it's okay. Goal.
What about the hands in close by Ratton once again? He was the player that initiated that play on centre wing. Quick hands to Murphy. Murphy followed up the play by giving the long handball over the top to Allen. Sexton provided the front and square give from Matthew Allen. Murphy had a lot of space to assess his options. Great penetrating kick to the hotspot area of the ground to give the ascendancy for Whitnell to mark the footy. And that is great finish from a young talent. No doubt a lot of his efforts. See how good Carlton are in the future.
Lose by 31 points. That was the same margin at quarter time. So they're answering the challenge here from the West Coast Eagles. McKenna feeds it off. He was looking for Braun. Just too close to get a sighting of it. Great tackle by Whitnell. He's been inspired. He's booted 2 goals. Ball run over the line by Jones.
Ben Nelson ready to come back on for the Blues.
I think that's pretty valid also. Massey, who's worked hard across half forward. Nelson may get a run with job and may be used as a double teaming effect on Ben Cousins.
Great tap by Allen. It's taken by Hamill. It's been marked by Jakovic. So a transfer of play. Wants to come to the members' side. Pumps the ball long. Cousins is a target. Coming over the top is Gardner. So a marking option up forward. Running hard was Fraser Gehrig. He wants the ball out in front. He does well.
Yeah, good work, Ray. Got behind the Carlton defence. Manton just couldn't get goal side of him quick enough to call himself a defender. Good awareness there by Gardner, who found Gehrig on the right side for a left footer.
Well, he's kicked 18 goals for the season. Just playing his 11th game. From right on 50, starts to bend it back. He's banged it through. Great kick. 2 goals to Fraser Gehrig, and they just won't go away, Mick.
No, they won't go away, KB, and I think just in the midfield, Ratton and Brown, they've been outstanding contributors for the Carlton team, but they've been in every centre bounce, and already the West Coast Eagles been a sunny day. They've started to rotate their midfield group. Phil Matera's had a run. Kemp's in there now with Braun, Gardner and also Williams. Maybe Carlton's time to change their midfield group.
Fraser Gehrig's booted 2 goals. They drag it back to a 25-point ball game. Just under 5.5 minutes left in this second term. Kemp continues to win the ball. Fraser Gehrig, second grab, the juggler, couldn't take it. Pushed off the ball, that time was Mitchell White. Cooter feed is to McKay. They work hard across half back. Rice pumps the ball back, looking for Hamill. Got a shove out that time from McIntosh. Here comes Nelson just onto the ground, keen to get into the action, and bowls McIntosh over the line.
Yeah, great work there by Nelson. There's no better feeling when you come off the ground or onto the ground trying to get an early touch. You really have to work hard. There's that contest with McIntosh and Hamill. Loose ball went over the back. The boundary umpire is throwing the ball in.
Well, the Blues have won every game this year when they've led at half-time. 10 times they've been in front at the main break, and 10 times they've gone on to win the game. So the signs are good for Carlton. They lead by 25 points.
Boundary throw in. There's Massey in the foreground. Allen and Gardner. Important time now inside the last 5 minutes of the opening half. Kemp again, stifled off the boot there by Brown, who showed a lot of courage. Could have almost been kicking in danger. Braun taken front on by Ratton, crashing back in is Brown. There's only one way, and there'll be a bounce about 55 metres out from goal.
And they're just magnificent body players, Ratton and Brown, but the wear and tear of their body has to take its toll in a contest. No doubt they'll try to compete, but with the West Coast Eagles now starting to rotate their midfield group, maybe it's time to maybe get Beaumont, maybe a Bradley into the midfield just for 2 or 3 minutes, just to ease the pressure from those two body players.
Ratton over the ball, pushed in the back. He'll get a free kick 55 metres out. Ratton wants to go. He's booted 2 goals already. Kicks inside the 50. Whitnell, was he pushed in the back? No, free. McIntosh, looping hand pass. Reed cleverly. Kemp, great composure. Back to Jakovic. Jakovic boots around the outer side. Allen is there with him. Gardner coming up to meet the bouncing ball is White. Still White. Twisting, turning, lacking support. Gave it away. This is Allen forward of the wing. Short. Going down for that one was Lappin. And the mark has been paid. Flicks it away to Murphy. Murphy 75 metres out, long down towards full forward. Standing his ground is Jakovic. Timely mark. Another goal and the Eagles still in it at the major break. If the Blues get the next one, it could be a real backbreaker. Here's Gardner. Plays on. Metropolis bounces towards left half back, kicks for space and Braun closing quickly. Ratton, well played. Braun hand passes to his own advantage, storming around the outer side, gets between a couple of teammates. The kick not good though, needs a contest from Reed. Clever mark by Lappin. Play on was the call. Murphy got it across towards Ratton. Ratton's kick close to the boundary line, takes an Eagles bounce. Taken high was Donnelly. He'll get the free kick.
McKenna to Williams, back to Braun, working hard in this second term. The General's got it. Inside 50. He's looking for Cummings. Yet to kick a goal, Scotty Cummings. He's booted 92 for the season. He kicked 8 goals against the Blues when they met in round 10. And if he can all of a sudden find his best form against the fullback of the century, things will start happening for the Eagles. Look at this for pace in front. That big frame was a good mark. Can he convert? Scotty Cummings.
Well, KB, that really is the first time in this game that Cummings has had the opportunity to beat Silvani on the lead. Quite surprising for the fact that he's kicked almost 90 goals.
Well, he's kicked 92-39. Gives us an indication he's been so accurate this year. Scotty Cummings. A big kick for the Eagles in this first half. From 45 metres out, Cummings leans back. He's missed.
Two of their key players across half-back are starting to find a lot of the footy, especially this quarter. Jakovic has had 7 kicks. He's taken 3 marks. Also, Guy McKenna, he's had 6 possessions. As Brown looks like coming off, Fletcher will go to midfield as Brown takes his mark.
Well, he was coming off the field and he was going to be replaced by Fletcher, and then he spurted and took the mark. Finds Sexton. It's been a good move. Sexton across centre wing. High ball at centre half forward. Here's Whitnell. Hits it hard. Great mark. Super player. McKay down from half-back. Drills it to Lappin. Couldn't take it. Cousins on the rebound. Pumps the ball wide. Danger now. Mitchell White's got it. Edge of the centre square. Finds Fraser Geary. Some great rebound football by the Eagles. He's booted 2, Fraser Geary.
Short the 50-50s. They're hard catches to take.
Cummings.
Penetrating kick. Shepherding.
Yeah, free kick.
Free kick will be paid to Carlton because Steve Silvani tried to chase Scott Cummings on the lead and Silvani was retarded by... So the ball comes to where the free kick paid where the ball was at the time. Ted.
So it went to Koutafidis, who still got it to the half-forward line. A big play. Showing a lot of courage that time was Braun. Came across in front of Whitnell. Beaumont weaves his way out of trouble. Whitnell, 35 metres out, has missed.
Just trying to kick the footy too hard. Just have to compose yourself, balance yourself, and just kick in your normal way. Lance just tried to kick the ball low and flat. Slow percentage when you do get tired because he was initially involved in that contest, presenting himself. Here's this situation with Silvani.
Silvani trying to chase Cummings, but bumped well away from the footy. The ball's 40-50 metres away at that stage, so that was why the free kick was relayed to the back end of the centre square in favour of Carlton.
And it's official too. Fraser Brown is off the ground. The reluctant lever had a kick before he left. McKenna up towards the wing. Dying seconds of the first half. Trying to crash his way through was Gardner. Sexton, who's been good, floats one down towards the pocket. It bounces towards the boundary line and goes out. Clock stops at 20 seconds and the margin 25 points.
That's all the Eagles had to do was win this next quarter. They've won this quarter by 1 goal. Exactly. It's an important 20 seconds of play.
Still life in this game. Cousins falling to the ground. Kemp brilliantly done. Hand passes up towards the wing. Standing in the road is Sexton. Can the Blues get a late goal? It's drifting back. Great mark by Lappin over Reed. And this could be the backbreaker I was talking about. He may kick after the siren.
He loves his situation, just being the marking player over the back. Go back to round 1. He took that terrific mark against that point post.
He plays tall. 2 seconds to go. And he's kicked a goal. There's the siren. What a lifter. Just had the feeling the West Coast Eagles, ever so slightly, working their way back into it. Had their chance in midfield. Fraser Gehrig had the ball. They set a pick deep in attack. They paid the price. Carlton went down the ground. And a goal right on the siren turned things right around.
There's no doubt about that, Dennis, as Malthouse comes onto the ground. This is a terrific jumping mark from a medium-sized player. Lappin, he's been quite a good contributor for Carlton throughout the course of this year. Basically, they rotate him through the front of the goal square with Beaumont, Lance Whitnell and also Aaron Hamill. That's been very effective today. But that is a terrific buffer at half-time. 31 points, the advantage of the Carlton team.
Sorry sight. Peter Matera playing his 200th half-time. The margin as it was at quarter-time. 10-7 to 5-6.
I think so.
But still, there's life in this game. The start of the second half, the Eagles need some early goals. Gardner goes up, tries to knock it down. In trouble is Cousins, taken high. He'll get the free kick immediately.
And he's one player that has to lift. He had 11 possession, but not effective in that first quarter. That's a good start.
Fraser Gehrig on his chest, still inside the centre square. Bright sunny conditions. Gehrig kicks down towards the pocket, honouring the lead from Cummings. It runs loose at the back. Banfield, who's been quiet, can't keep it in. And a boundary throw in. What about the Eagles bench, Oz?
Well, we can see in the foreground Rowan Jones stretching. Peter Matera, who's in fact in the rooms. Philip Matera and Chad Rintle.
Allen and Gehrig will go at this one. Allen in front. Gehrig with a fist over the top, knocking it towards the goal square. Half chance there for Braun. Bradley in trouble. Braun off the ground. It's a goal for the Eagles.
Well, that's the start they wanted, Mick, no doubt about that. I thought they played pretty well in the second quarter. That goal of Lappin hurt them right on the half-time siren. But I don't think the Eagles are out of this game.
Yeah, there's still a lot of footy to play, and assuming the Carlton are going to continue their merry way, that's just a ridiculous assumption. This West Coast Eagles team are very experienced in terms of finals played. We've got a lot of quality players out there who haven't actually had enough influence on this contest. Morrison, Banfield, I think Cousins can lift. Will Ponder across half-back, just to name a few. They can really rise to this occasion, accept the challenge that Carlton have thrown at them.
The Blues by 25 points. Allen gets his hands on the ball first. Beaumont so good in that first half with 2 goals. His partner in crime, Hamill, overran the ball but taken by Ratton, who's been very good. Fraser Brown spent a bit of time on the interchange bench. A casual bounce, then tries to drill it. Wirapunda comes across in front. Got a bad bounce. Massey got a ripper. Centres the ball. Whitnell.
Just a cool head for a young player, Massey. He's very good in that opening 15 minutes of play in the first quarter. Whitnell just got off his opponent in Jakovic back to that centre corridor part of the ground. Beautiful execution. They could have raffled it. Could have been Camporelli. Could have been Whitnell. Whitnell, the taller player, took the mark. Noted goal kicker. He should convert.
Well, he's booted 2 goals. 1 in the first quarter and 1 in the second. Lance Whitnell from 35 metres out. It's a shocking kick. Squeezes it in for a behind.
He does that on a couple of occasions. He did that in the second quarter when he tried to really drill it low when he was on the run. On that occasion, it was a set shot. As fatigue sets in, your conversion can certainly go out the window, but you have to jail them if you get the opportunity.
Margin 26 points. McKenna stubs it across to McIntosh. who's in the back pocket.
While Philip Matera's off the ground, Philip Reed's assuming that goal-kicking, crumbing forward role. He's been picked up by Dean Rice.
Sudden death this afternoon. Not much happening down the ground, as you can see. McIntosh, high ball out in the direction of the wing. Whitnell again, 6 marks now. Season's high is 12. Prods it back towards the middle. Low down on the half volley taken by Brown. He's grabbed by Metropolis and will have a bounce. Brown pleads his case. The umpire not impressed. Umpire Mark McKenzie. Whitnell, I mentioned those 12. They came against Collingwood way back in round 2, but he's a wonderful mark. In the congestion, scrambled out of defence by Jones towards midfield. This is Murphy. Murphy breaks away, hand passes down towards the half-forward flank. Camporelli knocks it on towards the pocket. Cousins, great balance, storms away. He's looking for the boundary. Will it go out? No, it stays in. McKay now. Plenty of Carlton players around the ball. Camporelli back to McKay. 65 metres out, centering kick. Jakovic was bumped out of it. And Whitnell has paid the mark. Whitnell directly in front, 25 metres out. There was early contact. Whitnell, a very strong man, able to go back and find the footy.
Yeah, Whitnell half looking towards the umpire as if he expected to be penalised, Dennis, but not the case. And
was it a free kick?
Well, he certainly pushed him out prior to the marking contest.
Is it a free kick?
Well, yeah, if there are 2 actions, that should be, yeah.
So it was a free kick?
Yep. You're a tough man.
Taking the free kick. He missed earlier, but not this one.
But in saying it looked as though it was a free kick, KB, but in saying that, it really did look as though the umpire possibly was unsighted. And Glenn Jakovic is not the sort of bloke that'd squeal anyway. He's a great competitor, and if he thought he'd had the rough end of the pineapple, he certainly wouldn't let the umpire know. He'd just cop it sweet, as he seemed to on this occasion. Looks as though he's pushed out there by Whitnell. Left arm pushes him out, and Whitnell takes the mark. And Mickey McGuan disagrees with me.
Took a good dive.
Well, I think Jakovic was hard done by Mick. I think there was a shove out. Don't need much of a shove to put you off balance and put you out of a contest. Ratton from the centre square. Just keeps on winning the ball. Whitnell, clever play over the back. Hamill caught, run down by McIntosh. Loose ball. Wirapunda jumps over his opponent. Massey hard at the ball. Hands and knees. Coming through was Lappin. Quick hands. Didn't find a target. Taken away and put straight back over the line by Cousins.
Cousins has tried to lift his work rate, but I think one player who's been very good in the first half, and especially the first 2 or 3 minutes of play in this third quarter, is Andrew McKay across half-back. Very strong in the contest, providing plenty of run. He's been matched up by young Crab at the start of this third quarter.
Lose by 32 points. Wirapunda got a fist to the ball. Loose ball. Danger here for the Eagles. Kicked off the ground by Wirapunda. It was clever play. Sexton wants a kind bounce. Gets it. Needs support. Didn't really hit a target. Nallen does well. Retreats. Backtracks. Just conceded a bit of ground. Some pushing and shoving. Beaumont juggles it with Morrison. He's already kicked a couple of goals. Lappin. Those quick hands back to Ratton. A danger player. Centres the ball. Looking for Whitnell. Can't keep the ball alive. Boundary throw in. 11-8, 74. Plays 6-6, 42. Mick Malthouse looks on. Robert Wiley beside him. Chance for the Blues. Whitnell to do the ruck work with Jakovic over the top. Kemp was good in the first half. One of their better players, De Braun, pumps the ball back, kicked the opening goal in this third term. Banfield has had a tough day at the office. Bradley has been handy across half-back, tries to drill. It's a poor kick. Braun sets it up wide. Coming away is Donnelly from the half-back flank to the half-forward line. Playing in front was that Jackson Crabb. No free kick. Banfield on the burst, charges through, gives it across to Jackson Crabb. Caught. Great tackling by McKay. Still no free kick.
Actually kicked the footy, barely, but got a bit to it.
Roberts it to Sexton. McKay runs on. He's had a mighty game, the All-Australian. There's a push out. Still no free kick. The roar goes around the MCG. Kemp again on hands and knees. Great second effort. Loose ball. Pounced on by Cousins. The Eagles answering the challenge from the Blues. Donnelly pumps the ball to the half-forward line. Manton. Fantastic grab over the back. Holds up the Eagles.
Wonderful mark. Manton feeds it back. This is Bradley. Ratton is loose. The kick comes in that direction. Had the speed to get there. Ratton judged it well. Breaks away. Kicks it down towards half forward. Beaumont wrestling there with Morrison. And Beaumont will get the free.
That's the difficulty, Mick. I mean, that looked far less severe than the earlier two that weren't paid.
So Beaumont, 52 metres out. Lappin lurking down there deep. So too Allen. Punter needs to go from the side. Against the post or behind.
And lucky he did too, because I think Allen just about would have taken that grab apart from Wirrapunda. Let's have a look at this mark.
A magnificent grab. 3 players, tall players in the marking contest. Great judgment by Manton. Backed himself to get to the contest, used his own instincts. And that is terrific to see a defender actually play with a bit of flair.
Glenn Manton, that's his domain. In the air, he's fearless. Dean Kemp. Fine game. Short of half-back the kick. Releases Donnelly into space from centre half-back. Kicks it up towards the centre circle. White was there. Bounces high. Banfield tries to prod it wide. It was touched off the boot. McKay overran it. Reed's got it now. Looks for Fraser Gehrig and finds him. Now, in the opening term, he kicked a goal from this identical position.
And Dennis, that's poor play there by Gehrig. Mitchell White got behind the Carlton defence. He'd lost Koutoufides. He pushed to the pocket. Fraser Gehrig didn't get back from the mark quick enough. All he had to do was get back, give himself 4 or 5 metres of space and pop it over the top. Mitchell White's 25 metres from goal.
Important kick, this one. Gehrig starts it way right. Cummings will need to contest here. Up he goes. Knocked it away from Sexton. Sexton dragged down, didn't have the ball. Silvani got it to Murphy, to Koutoufides. Now Bradley running it out of the back pocket. Relishes this situation. Craig Bradley kicks it up towards the wing. It'll be a free kick there to Beaumont. Going right over the top was Morrison. Unrealistically, I'd suggest.
Yeah, not much doubt about that one, Dennis. An unrealistic attempt to mark and penalised.
This is a poor kick. It'll be marked by Djakovic. Whitnell led back to centre half forward, so he was out of the contest. Glenn Djakovic got his hands full today with Lance Whitnell. Chipping in is Massey. Now this young player has done some nice things today. Came into the side, edge of the centre square to centre half forward. Big pack of players and a big fist from Djakovic, a sign of strength. Jackson Crabb has pounced on it for the Eagles. Wobbles the ball back. Bradley does well. Marks in front of Mitchell White. Carlton defence is standing up.
Been a terrific leader today for Carlton. Really played with a lot of poise. Good run here from Silvani. Once again, they'll try to set up from their back half.
And finds Matthew Allen. Getting back to his best form. Massey drills it. He's a wonderful kick. Finds Ratton. He's been so dangerous. He's booted to a look away kick to the pocket. Finds Camporelli.
Magnificent skills there by Ratton. More often than not, you'll see him once he wins the footy on the boundary side. He will wheel inside either on his right foot or his left foot. He has got terrific short passing skills, and there's just an example of that. It's interesting to see Camporelli starting centre square, pushing forward as much as he can, trying to get the dangerous Cousins out of that midfield for the West Coast.
Well, this is a poor kick. He'll be lucky to squeeze it in for a score. He has. He's kicked 27 goals for the season, one of 5 players for Carlton who have kicked over 20 goals. Whitnell, Hamill, Camporelli, Lappin and Beaumont. And of course for the West Coast Eagles, just Scotty Cummings and Peter Matera and Mitchell White. But Phil Matera is off the ground. Kicked the opening goal for the Eagles, but he's off on the interchange bench. Kemp goes short, looking for Mitchell White. Hit the ball hard, just couldn't quite handle it. Had a touch of the fumbles. Thumped back that time by Bradley, and there's a good mark taken by Cousins.
Yeah, poor execution by Bradley. Should have been the drop punt once again. Didn't have to go for the torpedo punt. Should have found someone on the way through. Got to be far better user on the way through than that.
Morrison combining with McIntosh. The short one up towards the wing. Fisted away by McKay from Braun. Now a chance for Camporelli. Got it from Beaumont. Dragged down, but not before he got the kick away. It affected the kick, though, that tackle from Braun. Mark taken by McIntosh. Back to half forward. There's not a problem again. Coming through is Manton. Rice goes down. Working hard in there is Crabb. Whistle. And the ball up. Or is it Reed at the base of that? Bounce, in any case, inside the centre square. Reed, last man to get up. '76 plays 42. Real battle going on at the moment. Gardner knocks it down. Rice controlled it pretty well. Still he goes. Getting through his Koutafidis with dash. Kicking it down towards half-forward and Whitnell. A constant problem. The hand pass came to Lappin. Lappin breaks through from 35 metres out. Tugs it left. That would have hurt the Eagles. They breathe a sigh of relief for behind.
It was a beautiful setup from Koutafidis. It was a great kick, and that was a bad miss by Lappin.
And just the ability too of Lance Whitnell, first option, quick hands, in close, give the overlap a chance. Carlton really pride themselves on using the ball very quickly with their hands and feet.
Blues 11-11 plays 6-6. Kemp, that'll be 50.
Yeah. Mark taken, and then Hickmott ran in and claimed him, and once that marking contest is over, certainly shouldn't be in there claiming the player that's taken the mark. Kemp's done nothing, hasn't. If he plays on, wait till the umpire calls the play on.
And Philip Matera back on for the Eagles, off Braun.
Well, I think that's a good move. He's booted 51 goals for the season. Banfield from inside the centre square to the pocket. Too tall's McKay. Not a good kick. Here's Peter Matera's brother limping around the boundary line. It's a sad sight. In his 200th game today, he's been one of the great Eagles players and injured his knee early in the game. There's Manton claiming the mark. Not much good kicking a high ball to McKay, and Philip Matera is a crummer. Got to take better options than that, the Eagles. Here's Matthew Allen, too tall. Works hard across the half-forward line, gives it across the running Camper Rally, who drills it. Oh, wonderful play by McKenna. The general chips in. Across half-back, wants to set it up. 3 casual bounces. The mind is ticking over. Rockets the ball wide. Donnelly to Cummings.
Yeah,
that's better play.
Take a bow, Guy McKenna. Magnificent courage to chop off the lead.
Take a bow.
Could have been a little bit fortunate. Michael Gardner really ran hard to provide a shepherd. Nearly a little head-high contact.
Look, I just get concerned about, we won't see that particular contact on replay, but certainly looked as though it might have been high, but certainly looked as though the arm was also up.
Yeah, magnificent work, Guy McKenna. Great build-up. He just typifies a great ball user in our great game. Doesn't waste a possession, assesses his options on the way through.
Yet to kick a goal today. He's booted 92 goals for the season. Can he bend it back? He can't. Through for a minor score. So Scotty Cummings has booted 3 behinds today. A poster in the first quarter and a behind in the second and third term.
And with Braun coming from the ground, Crab's got the job now on Ratton in midfield. Kemp's still going with Fraser Brown. Cousins actually gone to the half-forward line, trying to create some goal-kicking ability across that part of the ground.
Bradley goes straight up the centre. Matthew Allen again, the target. Is that 50?
Well, the umpire's not going to pay it, but I'd suggest that Gardner knew that mark had been taken by Allen, and when they slapped the ball out like that, that mark is taken before. That has got to be 50, but not paid.
Allen down towards half forward. What a great attempt that was. It's paid. Ratton.
How good's he been?
Wonderful. Ratton wheels around. There's the mark again. Meantime, the kick goes to the pocket. And Lappin has marked on a sharp angle, left full forward, about 35 metres out from goal. Had a chance moments ago and missed.
It's a great kick there by Ratton to the advantage of Lappin. White's just come onto the ground for Carlton for his first run today. They haven't used Matthew Hogg at this stage. It's been a terrific effort.
Lappin, a study in concentration, good-looking effort. What a fine goal, deep in the pocket.
Matthew Lappin, what a live wire he's been for the Carlton team across half forward. Terrific statistics, 8 kicks, 10 handballs, 2 goals, 1, 6 marks from a medium-sized player. He's gave Wirpunter the runaround. Wirpunter's only had 3 possessions. He was in outstanding form across half forward against the Western Bulldogs last Friday night here at the G. But today he certainly has struggled in that matchup against Lappin.
Ozzy, I noticed that Sexton went off the ground when White came on.
Yeah, KB, they're looking, it looks like either groin or a back problem at this stage. I don't want to say what it is, but they're stretching that area. I'll try and keep you updated.
Well, he's had a big game, 3 marks and 15 possessions, and also kicked a goal. Here's McKay. He has been magnificent across half-back. Pumps the ball wide. McKenna, a fingertip mark. Hickmott troubled him early, but the general trying to set the Eagles up. Under pressure is Metropolis. Has to concede ground, finds Donnelly. So a transfer of play. Gardner marks in front of Allen. The loose player has been set up. Reed, keen to play on quickly. Chips it across. Danger here. Coming through hard was Ratton. A big turnover. White got the ball wide. Ratton keeps on running hard. Finds Fraser Brown. Loves it tough. Pumps the ball deep into the forward line. Taken away this time by Whitnell. This is going to bounce to the goal square. The race is on. Can be kicked off the ground. Camporelli still alive. The ball's alive. Camporelli. Second effort. McKenna over the top. Rolls it through. Through behind.
Wasn't that a smart kick by Whitnell?
Smart play by McKenna as well. He was like a catcher going in after the pitch in the dirt.
Well, there he is to the top of the screen. He really ran hard to provide the 2-on-1 situation. Just really blocked the space for Camporelli to work in.
Again, Allen, that was a clever tap on. McKay went to ground. Reed rockets the ball out to Gardner, who needs support. Kemp has been very good today. He's a great tackler. He's their leading tackler for the Eagles.
KB, can I say again, same thing. Ball not pinned, arms pinned, but certainly no intention by Beaumont to get the ball out and just opted for the ball up. Should have been penalised for holding the ball.
Fraser Brown is off. Fletcher is on. Allen versus Gardner. Points to Allen. McKay all tied up that time by Reed. They lock arms. Jackson Crabb at the bottom of the pack for a ball up. 84 plays 43. The Blues lead 12-12 to 6-7.
Damning stats as far as the Eagles are concerned. Tells the story. Carlton haven't really taken their chances. This game could be well and truly over. Here's Mitchell White. Kicks deep inside the 50 once more. Silvani humbled by Cummings back in round 10. Led into the ball, and now 50 metres against Scott Cummings.
When you've had a bad day, that's one thing you just don't want to do. I know the West Coast Eagles have to kick goals to get back into this game, and Cummings could be that player. Just in terms of discipline, remove him from the ground and tell him.
Bradley kicking through centre wing. Gathering the crumb is Lappin. Hooks it down towards the pocket. Good defence by Jankovic. Fisting away, but down in front Camporelli. Gets it across to Fletcher. Fletcher, the centering kick. A good effort too. Rice was up, missed it. Donnelly leads back in the race in the opposite pocket. Still Donnelly. Could have been taken high. No free. Spinning out of trouble is Philip Matera. Off the ball. Down went, I think it was Massey or Ratton. The kick around the outer side. Bradley put the body in. Over the top came Reed. In the back. Bradley to get the free. There's Massey.
Massey went down, Dennis.
Well, simply a case of wanting it more right there. It was a 50-50 ball.
Yep. They're just getting their 6 inches of their body width in front of their opponent. And that's all you have to do in those tight situations.
Bradley going for distance. Great grab taken by Donnelly in from the side. Bradley now 21 possessions. He's having a grand season, averaging 24 possessions a game this year. That's up from 22 last year, and the same as in 96. Remarkable consistency. The ball up towards the wing. Kudafiti's reaching over the top. Williams slips it away to Kemp. Kemp forward of the wing. Down towards the attacking 50. Morrison has taken the mark. He was going. Morrison hard against the boundary line. Goes for distance. That's a magnificent effort. That could be the spark.
Yeah, Morrison here is one talented player. This stage of the game, they certainly need more consistency in his efforts to win a lot more of the footy. He is a great finisher, as we know. And this just typifies his ability. Hemmed in on the boundary line, long penetrating shot on goal. The ball held up in flight. It had enough length to cross the goal line. That is a great shot on goal.
Fraser Brown getting some attention. Morrison kicking his 13th goal for the season, his first today. Has spent some time on the interchange bench. A trail by 35 points. Weaving his way out of trouble was Murphy. Well, he's been magnificent across half-back. Guy McKenna sets it up. Finds Reed, the teenager, on centre wing. Drills it. Fraser Gehrig's the target. The sun again, a problem. Just gave the ball up to Dean Kemp. Did well, slide past his opponent. Jackson Crabb does well also to Banfield. Into the square. This could bounce over the back, wrong side. through for a behind.
Rintoul on for the Eagles and off Reed.
They just can't get enough of the footy on a consistent basis, can the Eagles? Carlton have had an amazing 70-odd more possessions than what the Eagles have had in this game at this stage. It's an unbelievable imbalance in terms of winning the ball for your respective club.
12-12 the Blues, 7-8 the Eagles. Radley playing a big game, pumps the ball on, high fly over the top. Hamill, he can take a grab. He's been dangerous up forward with a couple of goals. Too much carry on the ball this time for Camporelli. Standing his ground was Donnelly, sets it up to Banfield. Hasn't had the best day at the office, goes to the ground, rockets the ball to Cousins, feeds the ball off. Williams runs into the open goal, great smother. Fantastic play. That man, Stephen Silvani, take a bow. That was fantastic.
KB, you could see that build up, and I'll tell you what, any young person watching TV out there now, Stephen Silvani has a backman. There's sometimes when you've got to go, and this is the time he went, and that was just sensational, as you can see on screen now. What a smother.
Fraser Gehrig from the boundary throw and has a quick snap straight across the face of goal and out on the full. Well, the full-back of the century started at full forward last week, Stephen Silvani, missed a couple of goals. Today he's lined up at full-back on Scotty Cummings, who's booted 92 for the season, a Coleman medalist, and Scotty Cummings yet to kick a goal. And Stephen Silvani, absolutely magnificent with that smother. Chance now for the Eagles. Donnelly rips it away from his opponent, tries to set it up to Rintoul. It's a loose ball across centre-half forward. Hamill, they've got the numbers, the Blues. Murphy gets the ball back out to Fletcher, goes short. This is a good kick. Finds Beaumont, a dangerous player, covers a lot of territory. He's booted a couple of goals today. Both goals coming in the first term, and there he is, the great man Jakovic, this time beating Whitnall.
Kicks it out wide. Gardner releases McIntosh. The Eagles having a good patch right here. They need to translate that to the scoreboard. Here's Williams, 60 metres out, centering kick. Cummings, good grab.
Yeah, beautifully weighted kick.
He needs a goal though, doesn't he, Dennis? The confidence you can think with Scotty Cummings at the moment. He's had 3 shots and he's kicked 3 behinds. He's hit the post. He needs a goal to lift his own confidence.
That Sun's a real problem, but the angle on that one took the Sun out of play, at least for Cummings.
Yeah, and that's a terrific technique in taking the mark. Your hands free, arms free away from your body, your whole back and your whole backside directly into your opponent. No hope. It just gave no way Silvani a chance of spoiling that ball. Terrific mark in the contest.
Huge kick this one. You can see the angle. Scott Cummings. I think it's okay. The Eagles still have a pulse.
Yeah, Matera comes off the ground. Braun comes back onto the ground. He'll go to midfield. Probably play on Brett Ratton. Crab looks like staying with him at this stage. Braun is a terrific centre bounce player. Maybe he might go to Justin Murphy. But that's the goal the West Coast Eagles needed to keep their chances alive.
Mickey Malthouse comes down from the coach's box. They trail by 28 points. We thought maybe the fire in the belly had gone out, but obviously the pilot light is still burning for the Eagles, still inside the centre square, punched away by Massey, taken away by Cummings, intercepted by Fletcher. The Blues on the rebound and the charge. Whitnall needs a good kind bounce, gets it, centering kick. A big play, he's got it, Hickmott. It was a big play for Carlton. Hickmott's been so good today. He's taken 7 marks. He's also kicked a goal. He's had 12 possessions. So lively in that first quarter. And this centering kick set it up. Adrian Hickmott, 25 metres out, hammers it home.
And there's another example.
He's got 2.
When a side cannot afford to turn the footy over in the centre part of the ground. Ratton was the player that cleared the footy. Missed target. You just got to think forward when under pressure. The sideways handball, more often than not, creates mistakes. You've got to think forward when under pressure, whether it be by foot or by hand, clear the congestion. It's just a natural inclination for your players to run onto the ball when it handball or kick it your way.
So the margin back to 34. He got it to under 30, but the Blues answered in the best possible manner. Hamill to Fletcher, back to Hamill, he's on the wing. Not a good kick, getting a boot on that one was Donnelly, storming up the ground Whitnell. Somehow it runs onto Camporelli. Camporelli goes down towards full forward. Valiant attempt at the mark by Hickmott, missed it. Coming away with it then is McKenna. Clock is running, we're down to 18 seconds. Gardner's got it to Cousins. Will either side get a late goal here? Cousins down towards half forward. White needing to mark it. Couldn't hang on. Chance for Kemp on the ground. Diving in there is Rice. He was pushed in the back. Again, that desperation when the ball's on the ground. Carlton just a little sharper. A little more energy to go after it. There's the siren. The mark has been taken by Rintoul. He'll kick after the siren from about 52 metres out. Well,
you'd think he'd get the journey because he's a penetrating kick, isn't he, Dennis? And
yes.
Just looking at the flags, it is suiting that end of the ground.
He's kicked 6 goals for the season.
He's a beautiful long kick, though, KB. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he actually got the distance. It's just a question of accuracy.
He's going for the spiral, and he's got onto the spiral. He's got right onto the spiral. It falls about a metre short. Good attempt. So often those just slew off the side of the boot. That time, though, didn't quite get the distance. It was a long trip. So David Parkin can smell it now. That's the scoreline, 3/4 time. First semi-final. No tomorrow for the loser. The winner on to play the Bombers. Half an hour to go. 13-12 to 8-8.
Taking risks right throughout this game.
This should be a fine last quarter. There are some grown men taking some very deep breaths here at the MCG. Rucks go at it. Gardner knocks it down. Crashing his way through his Cousins. Cousins hand passes out wide. Brown picks it up though to Murphy. McKay a half chance. Knocked away there by Morrison. Coming through strongly is Fletcher. Fletcher looping hand pass out wide. Trapped by Hamill. Couldn't control it. It trickles across the boundary line.
Well, Carlton, Dennis, have had that marvellous record this year where at every game they've led at half-time, there's been 10 games that have gone on and won the game. It's been an incredible record. Only Essendon has done as well as that this year.
Allen decisively. Brown took it away from Ratton. Camporelli, 3 of their key playmakers involved. And here's the 4th, Murphy, close to the boundary line. Goes long into the pocket, going backward Punda. Picked up now by Hickmott. Hand passes across towards Whitnell. Jakovic has got him. The hand pass back towards the line. Intended for Hickmott. Rolls across the line as we go down to Aussie with the Carlton bench.
Yeah, as you can see, Dennis, Chris Massey getting his left knee rub. He joins Michael Sexton, who went up the race at 3/4 time, Ben Nelson and Matthew Hogg.
Chance for the Blues, taken away by Braun. The kick half smothered off the boot. Ratton trying to crash his way through was Whitnell. Cousins couldn't slide past his opponent, Jakovic. We reckon there was tears in the eyes at 3/4 time after that speech from Mick Malthouse. Taken away by Rintoul. Pumps the ball up, coming out, hitting the ball hard. Electing to punch it. Not marked was Manton. Look out. Could have been crunched. Does well. Keeps his eye on the ball. Manton, magnificent. Hand pass was Paul. Good hands by Beaumont. Gives it across to Rice. A look-away kick. Wrong side of the boot. It was an off kick. Been marked by Hickmott.
I think that's typified today that one Carlton have had. They've made their own luck by their fierce approach at the footy. West Coast ball, the bounce of the ball just hasn't gone their way today. Well, there's just another example of good luck.
Outside of 50, the 3rd most experienced finals player for the Blues is a big bomb. Touched on the line.
He was down on his knees actually trying to cheer that goal through. But down to you, Aussie, for the West Coast bench.
Philip Reid, Philip Matera, Rowan Jones and Peter Matera. And a question for you, Mick McGuan. Philip Matera has been a proven goal kicker all year. Why would you have him on the bench when the game is there, needs to be won?
Yeah, well, obviously Mick Malthouse can only answer that one, but just in terms of their structure, you'd certainly have him on the ground knowing that they haven't kicked enough goals to put pressure on the Carlton team as such.
Metropolis goes to Jakovic, but it was across the line. Wonderful kick out from Werpunda. Jakovic, pleading his case, needs to be careful. Can't win that one.
And there's that emotion between those two great men who've worked extremely hard for the West Coast Eagles Football Club.
Ratton, Hamill, now Murphy, pinned against the line, back to Hamill, high floating kick, Werpunda hacks it, Comes back about 15 metres, but straight to Fletcher. Fletcher picks it up and snaps. That is close. Right on the goal umpire. Behind. Whoa. Sense of theatre there. Must have gone over the top of the post. Wapunda trying to hack the half volley away. All he could do. Didn't get all of it. A shot from the blimp. Wapunda kicking it out towards the 50, intended for Djakovic. Djakovic reaching over the top. Beaumont came out backwards. Diving on top of the ball is Brown, knocking it towards the goal. Brown comes again. He's got that patented second effort close to the line. Metropolis. And he's mastered that, Metropolis. That hand pass that drifts across the line, tantalisingly close to a teammate. Rintoul was knocked down that time.
And also, Dennis, 11 of the West Coast Eagles players, it's half the group, have failed to get 10 possessions or more. And that's just typified the approach that Carlton have placed on their opponent. First of all, win the contest, find the footy yourself, and try to use it to the best advantage for your team.
Fraser Brown pumps the ball inside 50. Whitton was a high flyer. Hickmott did well. He was looking for White, tied up. It was just shoveled out that time by Donnelly. Metropolis stands and delivers, pumps the ball back towards the centre wing. Here's Allen at the back of the pack. They'll need a crummer. Cousins is going to hit the ball hard, so does Banfield. Drills the ball up towards the half-forward line and finds Mitchell White 55 metres out. Cummings is the target. Great hands out in front.
There's that mental telepathy that we spoke about, Dennis. They've just got an uncanny act to find each other. Mitchell White's terrific low skimming kick to the advantage of the lead. Oh, beautiful kick.
This is a big kick in the context of this game. They trail by 36 points. A goal here will certainly lift the spirits of the Eagles. Big kick by Scotty Cummings. He's only kicked the one goal today. 93 for the season. This will really pump the Eagles if he can pop this through. 30 metres out. He likes it. He's got it. 2 goals to Scotty Cummings.
There's no doubt Mick Malthouse would have stressed to the players the importance of kicking the first goal at the start of the last quarter. This is a terrific build-up. Mitchell White just got coup de foot. He's underneath the fly to the footy, played on quickly, and that's what forwards love. A low, penetrating kick to your advantage that gives the defender no chance whatsoever. Great teamwork by 2 of their key players.
It's like Scotty's got a bell around his neck. 13-14 to 9-8. Gardner goes up, beaten by Allen. Hamill charges through the centre square, got the hand pass away to Murphy. Back come the Blues. Can they get the answering goal? Long probing kick. Hickmott, who certainly troubled McKenna overhead, and that time one out again. He's taken the mark about 30 metres out directly in front. And this has been very much the story of the afternoon. Should have been a free in any case. They've got the answering goal quickly, the Blues, invariably. Hickmott has been a valuable player. Kicks. Goal umpire goes a long way. Misses. So the margin is 31 points. As my old dad used to say, that's a handy point.
Wapunda bring the ball back into play. It's a dangerous kick taken by Hamill. So strong overhead. He's got loose player wide in Camporelli. He's right on 50. Great smother off the boot by McKenna. Loose ball. Hickmott tries to tickle the ball. Going in hard was McKenna. Manhandled was Braun. No free kick. White rockets the ball wide. Hamill 45 metres out. Hammers it home. Two goals, Aaron Hamill.
And that's what happens if you turn the footy over on a kick in. When you win possession, you've got to find targets, because if the opposition win the ball, they'll have players who have zoned their area who will be free. Only needs a quick handball to somebody in space. They get a free shot on goal, as Aaron Hamill did on that occasion. He's been a good contributor for the Blues.
So the Blues do it again. They trump the West Coast Eagles and they lead by 37 points. Just under 15 minutes remaining. One senses in the season for the West Coast Eagles. Camporelli charges through the centre, but kicks it directly to Metropolis. Doing a Silvani, charging up in front. Kicks it out towards the wing then. Mitchell White has to stretch, takes the mark, plays on immediately. Donnelly, forward of the wing, kicks inside the 50. Rice reaches over the top of Kemp, knocked it down. Allen did nicely, got it to the voice. Bradley taking a full revolution. Silvani got the hand pass to Brown. Brown back to Silvani. Silvani, the man of the smother in the previous term. Hand passes when he should have kicked. Koutafidis overran the ball. McKenna goes down. White hit him hard. Or was it Silvani? Silvani still working up the ground. Koutafidis goes after the ball. Braun takes a tumble over the top. Whistle, ball up. Hard running by Stephen Silvani. Didn't quit. Kept going again. Forward of the wing.
In Dennis, in fact, McIntosh has just come off the ground. We noticed earlier he's limping. I think he's a very sore boy.
Thanks, Oz. Here's the bounce then. Alongside the interchange gates. Ball fell at the feet of the big men. He weren't that big. Cousins taken front on. Boundary throw in.
Very rarely do you see Guy McKenna get removed from an opponent. He's been taken from Hickmott. Now Metropolis has gone to him. McKenna's picking up Fletcher.
White knocked it the wrong way. Murphy upended. Was he taken high? Rintoul goes over the top. Braun, chance for the Eagles here. 70 metres out. Cummings. And Cummings is marked about 25 metres from goal. 45-degree angle. He's got two this afternoon. Both of them in the second half.
This is a good build-up once again. Great tackle there by Crabb. Good handball by Rintoul to the run of Braun, and that's a great finish to the lead of Cummings. But on not one occasion today have the West Coast Eagles been able to kick 3 goals in succession to give them a chance. On 3 separate occasions they've kicked 2 goals in succession. It's been the ability of Carlton to be able to match them.
Cummings kicking at his third, and he steered it through. They keep on coming.
Well, 3 goals to Scotty Cummings, so he's had a good second half. Still plenty of time. Just under 13 minutes left in the game. They trail 99 to 68.
Murphy and Rintoul having a bit of a hello out in the centre square, KB.
We see this build up here with Braun pumping the ball down. It was a great kick to Cummings, and he finished it off.
Yeah, good technique there by Cummings. He's bounced back with 3 goals.
McIntosh on the bench, and Murphy and Rintoul still having words. West Coast trail by 31 points at quarter time, 31 points at half time, and 34 points at the last break. They now trail by 31 points. So that quarter time score still stands. So from the centre square, Rintoul rockets the ball back to Gardner. 75 metres out, kicks a high ball. They'll need a high flyer from behind. Too strong was Rice. Been handy. Saw off Philip Matera, kicks the ball wide to Bradley. The general, the skipper, off and running. Time for Think Music from the half-back line. Belts the ball long down to the half-forward line. Whitnall's the high flyer. Couldn't get a hand to the ball. Morrison, the mind ticking over. Goes short and finds Reid.
And KB, Murphy just getting a little bit fired up for you. You'd think David Parker, man, the smart coach is, he's just taken him off. Just doesn't want him to get reported at this stage of the game.
Mitchell White, strong overhead. The All-Australian on the half-forward flank. Too far out to score. A good kick and a half. He's looking for Scotty Cummings. He'll test his strength with Silvani. Wanted the free. Cousins does well. Weaves his way out of trouble. Rockets the ball to Wirapunda. Didn't quite hit his target. Back to Rintoul. Got a touch of the fumbles. Cousins thought he may have been held. Bradley goes to ground. Hands and knees. Great second effort. Gets it across the camper rally on the rebound. This can hurt the Eagles. Whitnall into the centre square. Drills the ball. Looking for Matthew Allen. He'll need a kind bounce to keep it alive. Keeps the ball in. Hickmott, the tackler. He's got him.
He's one hard nut. Hickmott. I had the pleasure of actually seeing him train and play in 97 KB, and that particular year he was always injured. It was unfortunate to see a man who just so got enormous appetite to play, great club man, and it's great to see him play this style of play today. He's been outstanding, great competitor. Wouldn't it be good to see him finish with a goal?
Justin Murphy's off the ground as well. Hickmott, he has nailed it. He's booted 3. been a very good player. Justin Murphy, after that altercation with Rintoul, has been benched by David Parkin, and this is a good tackle.
Yeah, just has plenty of time to get rid of the footy. Doesn't take that opportunity to dispose of it, and just considered to have taken too long, in the opinion of the umpire. Waits till he's free and then eventually gets it out. So penalised for holding the footy, and another goal to the Blues.
And that's probably been the story of the day. The Eagles not taking their chances. It was 3-on-2 across half forward for the Eagles. Bradley did brilliantly. And then Hickmott, that wonderful tackle, producing a fine goal on the angle. And it seems now that Carlton have weathered the storm. The Eagles have kept coming, but we see McKay driving them forward again. And Carlton have just been simply too strong and shown too much poise. Down goes Brown, wrestled by Metropolis, and will have a bounce. We're talking a lot too about Michael Malthouse, and clock running down on his era with the West Coast Eagles. The official attendance today 55,682, but spare a thought for David Parkin. What a magnificent performance this is. Conjecture about his health, speculation about his future, and he's pulled yet another blue rabbit out of the hat. There's Crabb, scrambles it around the boundary line. Braun, Kemp arches the back in characteristic fashion, drives it around the outer side. Was that a mark? Trying hard. Mitchell White, he's paid the mark. As much for effort as anything else. Play on's the call. White lacking support. Kicks it down towards half foot. Crabb had to wait. Almost took it. Over the top came McKay. The mark is paid. And or a free.
Good courage. Stood his ground. Had to. Good work.
Crabb goes away then. Not a good kick inside the 50. Awkward bounce. Spinning out of trouble is White. Confronted. Manages to get the kick away though. It takes an eagle bounce. Stayed in. Kemp gets it to White. White feeds it forward. This is Rintoul. 52 metres out. Launches it high. Tailor-made for Allen. He reaches over the top. Arrogantly almost. And plays it against the goalpost. Well done, big fella.
He's worked extremely hard. Manton just come off the ground. Nelson was the player that's gone on for Carlton. But here they go. They just build up from this back half, using the ball short, trying to get somebody free.
Just under 10 minutes left in this final quarter. Silvani goes wide, looking for Fraser Brown.
KB, I'd love to know the statistic when Fraser Brown plays for Carlton, what the win-loss ratio would be. He's just such an important player to their midfield structure.
Well, he's had 19 possessions today and 6 marks. Reid, cross half back, Banfield, squeezed the handball out to Wirapunda. He's had a magnificent season. The young man from Healesville to the edge of the centre square. Williams couldn't control it. This man can. Bradley, magnificent disposal. McKay has been a star all day. The kick's a poor one. Too much carry on the ball. Ratton goes to Brown, takes it over. He's had a mighty game, Brett Ratton, 26 possessions. He's taken 4 marks and he's booted 2 goals.
And all of those possessions would have been in the first 3 quarters. He's only had 1 handball this quarter, KB.
Jakovic to do the ruck work. Lappin, Beaumont. It's been dangerous all day. The Blues need a high flyer. Jakovic was there. Whitnell juggles the ball. Feeds the ball out to Hickmott. Rockets it to Rice. 45 metres out. Unloads. Gets it both barrels and kicks a goal.
Yeah, Hickmott on the burst once again. Has he been an important player in their forward structure today? His attack on the ball, him and Hamill have really complemented each other. It's been Whitnell who's been the workhorse once again, combined with the flair of Lappin. Hickmott meeting that loose ball on the surge. The backward handball to the player facing the goal in Dean Rice gave him the space to use it effectively.
Well, they've seen enough. There's a bounce then. There's the scoreline. 16-15 to 10-9. Allen favoured by the bounce. Got it down to Brown. Brown the hurried kick. Back goes Reid. Takes the juggled mark across half back. Immediately plays on. Kicks through the centre, or tried to. Reading it very well was Hamill. Showed great desperation despite the scoreline. Gets the hand pass away to Fletcher. Pushed as he kicked, but it favours Beaumont, and Beaumont is marked about 40 metres out. Amazing game footy. You think back to last season, and the Blues, particularly early, really struggling. There was talk about the wooden spoon, and suddenly this afternoon they are one game away from the grand final.
They've had a better balanced side today than the one they had up in Brisbane. I have no doubt with Silvani at fullback and Kutafides filling in. Their forward line, they've been able to rotate players such as Beaumont and Hamill. They've been very dangerous.
Heroes welcome for Fraser Brown coming off the ground as Beaumont tugs this one left to right and kicks it behind. It's all academic now.
And Dennis replacing Matthew Hogg on for his first run. He'd be very keen.
What a warrior. He's not happy about being off the ground either.
Interesting to see who Hoggy actually goes to, probably for Benny Cousins for the last 10 minutes of battle, or even Philip Reid.
Game number 171 for Matthew Hogg. Metropolis played every game for the Eagles, goes short and finds Cousins. He's a great young player. Certainly will poll well in the Brownlow medal. Fraser just on the phone to David Parkin. Banfield in on the bench today as well. Goes short, finds Rintoul. They break wide. Braun's the target. It's a fine young player, Braun. One of the midfield players they're going to build their side around next year under their new coach, who we believe will be Ken Judge. Standing his ground was Donnelly, taken away by Rice. Well, he's just kicked a goal. Dribbles the ball across to White to Bradley on the burst. Loves to take him on. Good chasing that time by Fraser Gehrig. Camporelli appeals for the free kick inside the centre square. Kicks a long bomb. McKenna should get back. Not an easy mark with the sun in the eyes.
McKenna, the skipper, offers step to Braun. He's at right half back. In the long shadows now. He kicks it up towards the wing. Gardner does well. Tumbling mark. Just over 6 minutes to go.
That's been an intriguing duel also, hasn't it, Dennis, in the ruck? Neither players had a lot of influence on the game. Both players have ran a lot of kilometres, tried to gain some sort of influence, but it's been a good contest.
I think it was very much, though, the master and the apprentice. So I think Allen dictated where they would run and how long they would run.
There's been a couple of very important centre breaks when the Eagles got goals that the Carlton were able to get goals straight away, and every time it came from Matthew Allen's ruck work in the centre square.
Fraser Brown.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Dennis, we just saw Fraser Brown on screen. Smart work by David Parkin to have him off. He's had hamstring problems in the past, had it rubbed quite vigorously on one of his stretches on the bench, and the game's over. Get him off. Good work.
A scramble just outside the attacking 50 for the Eagles. Dean Kemp back in form this afternoon. Gets it to Cousins. Kemp 26 possessions. And Cousins has battled hard, coming up for number 25. Season's high 35. Got under it a bit, didn't quite have the carry, played across the line by Kutafides. Yeah, Fraser lost his battle. There he is, Fraser Brown coming around the boundary, lost his battle on the phone, I'm sure. Well, the battle was over because he was off the ground, but he was saying he was enjoying himself out there, and David Parkin played the trump card and said, well, I'm saving you for next week. Makes a player feel good. You can't argue that one as Bradley chips it up towards the wing, sliding in. Hamill, who's been very lively.
Yes, he's a very good player. These two sides only met in the final once before today, and the Eagles won by 55 points, so the Blues are going to turn that around. First time they've met at the MCG. Great hands, finds Massey towards the square. Hickmott again. So strong overhead. Some great signs for Carlton on the forward line, because Hickmott has given them another avenue to goal. He's booted 3 today.
He just plays taller, KB, and that's unbelievable.
An unselfish play, goes short across the face of goal and finds Andrew McKay. He's been magnificent today.
And Andy McKay wouldn't have kicked many goals in his career. He had a shot on goal in the first quarter. It's be interesting. How many's he kicked, Kev?
He's kicked 1 goal for the season.
1 goal this season.
McKay from 20 metres out. No angle to speak of. Pops it through.
Hickmott has played a magnificent game today. He just reminds me so much of a player who used to play for Essendon in Stephen Copping. Had them long arms. Have a look at the judgment here and the long arms. McKenna thought the footy was actually going over the back, and he would have took an easy, uncontested mark. Hickmott with them long arms took a good mark, and then unselfish play to find McKay.
He's still skulking around. Fraser Brown. Andrew McKay, 21 possessions this afternoon. Had that sabbatical up in Brisbane when he was studying veterinary science. He's come back as good as ever. Ozzy, you were trying to get a word in there, I
Yeah, I was going to say, Dennis, I'm just thinking back to when David Parkin coached me at Fitzroy. Every time he dragged a player from the ground for whatever reason, he asked the runner, what did he say? So there's one coach you don't argue with.
McKenna to Braun. Braun comes away, kicks for space. Gardner working hard, tracking it towards the boundary line. Gardner, well picked up, big man. Forward of half back, not much to kick to. Going back is Rice. That was a bad kick. Gehrig was the man, I think, that it had to go to. Rice finds Nelson. Nelson on the wing. 48 points the margin. Nelson to the attacking 50. Big pack. In from the side was Hamill. Picking up the loose ball is Lappin. They fall on him. Crawling after the ball in there is McKenna. Hogg's there as well on all fours. Hamill remonstrates with himself and will have a bounce.
I reckon Dean Rice has been a magnificent story, Dennis. A couple of knee reconstructions, was assigned the role to play on Philip Matera, a dangerous goal kicker today. He's a marking player for his size, but got the speed still to keep with those real good in and under type crumbing goal kickers like Philip Matera. He's done a magnificent job also.
Beaumont to the square, a test of strength, some pushing and shoving.
Silvani and Cummings.
Cummings now playing at full back.
You lost your bearings, didn't you, for a moment? I can tell.
Comes away. Defensive 50 goes short. He's ran too far.
It's just not running the West Coast Eagles way. Scott Cummings took a bounce very early in the run, but then just went a couple of steps too far after he'd taken that bounce.
Well, that was remarkable with Silvani coming all the way down. And Scotty comes in. Silvani's going to kick a goal. Blues now, they're looming as the wild card of this final series. They're into a preliminary final, and it was only a few weeks ago, Dennis, that they were called a B-grade side by David Parkin.
That's right.
Might have been reverse psychology to the master, but there it is. Scotty Cummings just running too far. He's ran about a furlong.
It was just a walk in the park for Scotty. Actually, he was thinking to himself, am I too far out to have a shot?
Oh, no, but magnificent work by Silvani, putting the pressure back on a key forward. And that's what you have to do, push forward at the right time, and then you get rewarded by kicking a goal.
Braun missed it. Ratton didn't. Charging through the middle. Penetrating kick. Wapunda in front. Still he kept coming, Wapunda. Well played. Over the ball is Reid. Twisting, turning. Goes with the outside of the boot. Close to the boundary line. Braun, can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Hurries it about 35 metres further afield. Crab can't keep it in, though. It's across the line. Just over 2 minutes to go. Margin now set at 54 points. Well, the West Coast Eagles have paid a price for home finals being played in Victoria. A minimum of 1 per round, of course. Here's Cousins in trouble. Down he goes. Could have been taken high. Holding the ball. Well, that's the other option. Advantage is paid. Centering kick. Up goes Whitnell. Beaumont did brilliantly. Feeds the hand pass away to Lappin. Pushed off the kick. McKenna gets back. Now with some time. McKenna towards centre half back. Morrison. Nicely done. Feeds it back to support from Jakovic.
Kicks a high ball. White will get back. Spent a lot of time on the interchange bench as well. Finds Hogg. Listen to the roar go around the MCG. Game number 171 for the veteran. So wobbles the kick inside 50. Picked up by Beaumont. Confronted that time by McKenna. Caught too high.
Again, looked as though he may have ducked and contributed to the high contact, Kevin, but got the free kick. Beaumont sees it coming and actually tries to duck under the tackle. Looks as though Guy McKenna tries to do everything right, but is penalised.
Yeah, John, on that one, I just think from a player's perspective, it's a skill to just drop your knees. So all of a sudden you get underneath the tackle. The tackler's got to have the right technique to go to the hips. That's what we get taught, and that's what we get coached by. On that occasion, I just thought he went at the head. If it's head high, it's head high.
Well, he's just sprayed this to left and puts it over the line.
Yeah, look, everybody will see the incident differently, but I just thought McKenna attempted to tackle legitimately, but in an effort to duck under the tackle and ended up a bit high, and McKenna shouldn't be penalised, according to what the umpires are told, in those situations.
Speaking of the devil, he's got the ball. McKenna. been a magnificent player. 258 games. Now there's a roar going around the ground, some pushing and shoving. Camporelli and Cousins. Dropped by Fraser Gehrig. Fletcher. Caught by Gehrig. Again a loose ball. Camporelli. A centering kick. It's a high ball. Jakovic comes out. Takes a chest mark.
Well, it sets up a blockbuster now. Essendon and Carlton in one half of the draw. Brisbane and the Western Bulldogs to play tonight. And the winner will play the Kangaroos. Michael Malthouse looks on. Dying seconds of a wonderful decade. Gardner knocks it down. And the road is Bradley. There's the siren. Carlton, one game away now from the grand final. What a performance by David Parkin. What a contrast in the coaching boxes. Bradley, who was so good early, and Carlton, after 2 bad losses, have come back so strongly this afternoon. They win the first semi-final, 18-16 to 10-10. Let's get out of Aussie.
Well, Fraser, up here, mate. You're just saying to me a great win. How's that feel?
Yeah, that's a long week in football, isn't it? Like going to Brisbane, coming down and doing that here. Well, who knows? You know, Essendon are a great side. Let's see how we go next week. We put something together like this. Who knows?
And how's the leg, mate?
Yeah, I'm fine, and I think it's just a bit of a rest there at the end. And great team effort by the Blues. We want to see all the Blue guys out next week, and we need all the support we can against Essendon, that's for sure.
You're saying it's a long week. 1 week is a long week in football, a long time in football. Essendon preliminary final. How's that sound? It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, you know, it's a good system, the final 8, and you know, it's worked well for us this year, and you know, a few things have fallen into our hands, you know, the way the teams fell and who beat who, and it's been terrific for us to pick it up and to come out and do that today. We can only go away with a lot of confidence, I suppose, and give it our best shot.
Well, thanks, Fraser, and good luck next week. My boss is a mad Carlton supporter. He'll be wrapped.
No worries.
Slightly tongue-in-cheek there from Fraser Brown. Why shouldn't they be happy? Fantastic. Those midfield runners so good. There's Michael Malthouse.
And what a magnificent coach he's been. Waiting for his players. The West Coast Eagles just clapping their supporters. There's Mickey Malthouse just about to leave the arena. I think today's typified what footy's all about. Most important principle of the game is winning the ball, being first to the ball. I think in the end, that was the difference between the two teams.
One of the words of the 90s is closure, and we're seeing closure right there. But this team has a new beginning. For some of these young men, Michael Malthouse is the only coach they've known. So the West Coast Eagles, the luck of the draw didn't go their way. Disappointed, like so many people in Western Australia, they had to play this final here at the MCG, but be that as it may, Carlton were in terrific fettle today. They would have been hard to beat anywhere, and they have a wonderful record in Perth. That is for the history books. What lies ahead next week? Well, as we said, a blockbuster, setting it up. Carlton go against Essendon, two of the great powers of the AFL. David Parkin is elated. Joy to one side of the ground. Dismay to the other. We'll follow them down to hear the club song. Stephen Silvani, fullback of the century, with one of the smothers of the century this afternoon. Now, I don't claim to have seen all the smothers in the last 100 years, but there wouldn't have been, KB, too many better than that one.
What are you suggesting KB would have?
Well, yes, I'm going to my guru.
It was a great smother. Williams looked set to kick an easy goal, and Silvani came across. That was a fascinating duel between Silvani and Scotty Cummings. Scotty Cummings, of course, well held in the first half, booted 3 goals in the second half. And I suppose that great passage of play in that last quarter when Silvani came all the way down and Cummings followed him down. First he became the fullback on the full forward Silvani, then running away with the ball, going too far, and then the ball coming back and Silvani kicking a goal. But a great win by Carlton. They were classed as a B-grade side by their coach David Parkin. Not long before the end of the season, they just might be the wild card in the competition because they'll come up against Essendon, great traditional rivals. There will be about 90,000 here at the MCG. And today, they would have gained a tremendous amount of confidence. A lot of players found really good touch today. And who knows? We know football's a funny game. They could be there in that last day in September.
It covers a multitude of sins, that saying, doesn't it? Football's a funny game. So wait for it. One of the better songs in the competition. But I would imagine
You reckon this
will be sung with great gusto.
Do you think this is better than the Dockers song?
No. Don't get me started.
We're the only team of Carlton knows. We're all the champions. They like to send us. We'll keep our ends up. And they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues.
Well, forget Raikuda. They're the best Blues in town this afternoon. Carlton, winners by 54 points in the first semi-final, 18-16 to 10-10. Just checking their goal scorers. Lance Whitnell booted 3. Adrian Hickmott got 3 as well, and 2 apiece to Ratton, who doesn't kick too many goals, Beaumont and Hamill. And for the West Coast Eagles, Scott Cummings booted 3 all in the second half, and 2 apiece to Fraser Gehrig, both in the first half. Likewise, Mitchell White. And at the time, that did give a bit of a spark to the West Coast Eagles. But they led at every change, Carlton. And their ferocity, particularly early in the game, was quite outstanding. 31 points at quarter time, 31 at the half, 34 at 3/4, and finally running out winners by 54.